We'll just keep it a little bit wide. Alright, as this guy's nice and tall, you guys want to move this way? Yeah.
Anna, can you get the headset and the trays, please? Chip racks and headset, please. Oh, fucking wreck you.
Alright, guys, lean up this way. Just going to do your headshot seat order. And just let him review seat counters. So seat 1 first, is that what you think? Awesome. I already had the photo. Get some practice. That's easy right here. Seat 3.
So welcome back here to the King's Premium Poker Room at the St George Leagues Club for the conclusion of the Mystery Bounty Day 2. It's a $600 buy-in, trading at a massive prize pool of $75,705. What we're seeing on the screen at the moment is Jamie Hall taking photos of the final 9 as we have now reached the final table. They'll be playing for top prize at 10K. There's also a couple of bounties still left in that barrel. So there's a little bit of the behind-the-scenes stuff. That is actually my phone right there. The players putting in what seat they're into and a little bit of information about themselves, so we can talk about that. There you go. That's good. Very good. The play goes ahead. And joining me in the comm booth at the start will be the man, the myth, the legend himself, and the guy bringing you all of this footage that you can see at the moment. Jamie Hall is joining me. How are you, Jamie?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Absolutely loving this. Absolutely stacked farm table. Really looking forward to see some of this action. Won't get to see it all, unfortunately, because I have got a job to do. But we'll enjoy a few minutes while we are. Appreciate your efforts as well, man. Keep liking this, having a little interview with the players and a few chats and finding out a bit more about them. That's really good to have in there. Gong Lee specifically. Favourite hand 10-7 because it's his wife.
Yeah,
How cute is that?
It's very cute. Talking about cute, there's Patrick Russell right there on his screen. He's one of the TDs. Just talking about the rules and regulations of the final table. No phones allowed at this feature and final table. And will be the case all the way through for the rest of the events in this Colossus series.
And a high card to see who's going to go for it.
Prize pool and the payouts now pinned in both Facebook Live and on YouTube. We are on a 20-minute delay just to protect the integrity of the game. We'll be kicking off this shortly. I'm kind of looking forward to this one too, Jamie. There's been a couple of battles already brewing, especially between Troy Sweet and Eddie Chu, who happen now to be sitting right next to each other as opposed to opposite each other, like they were before the break.
That's going to be really interesting because I need to get confirmation that they are definitely two of the biggest stacks, and that is going to be a really interesting dynamic because Edwin is just so hyper aggressive, let alone as the big stack as well. It's going to make Troy's life a lot more tougher.
Yep.
If they had a slightly better table draw, it would probably be easier for Troy to be running over a lot of the table, but with the madman next to his left, it is going to have a pretty good effect. And yes, Edwin is chip leader, and Peter
Panayiotis. There he is, Peter Panayiotis in seat 1.
And then Troy in 3, all over $1 million.
Yep.
And then we'll have the graphics pop up shortly and get it all confirmed up for you. But certainly a lot of chips still in play.
Yep.
So gonna be a good little grind, but not a 4 AM grind. So that's good.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if this reaches 4 AM and we get kicked out and we have to come back for an unscheduled day 3 of the Mystery Bounty, I would have grown another leg by then for sure. That's you right there on the stream there, Jamie, top right.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can see himself because this is on a 20-minute delay. We're calling the action as you see it at home. No spoilers, obviously. As we get back to the action under the gun here, Peter Panayiotis finds the Jack 10. His favourite hand is the pocket 10s. He told me that last night and told me again today when I asked him to do a voice recording of a little bit about himself. As he finds the Jack 10 under the gun. That's good enough for Peter to come in for a raise here. He does have 1.325 million or 66 bigs to his name. Troy Sweet's going to get out of the way with the 3-2. Edwin with the 7-4 off. Tim, Mr. GQ himself, Venari. has found the King 4 offsuit. Straight out of a magazine, Timmy. Henry Zhang in the cutoff with the 8-5 offsuit. That's not good enough to defend a raise. And Robert Lamb. Yeah, sure, that'll work in the small blind. Jiggity jacks, the pocket jacks in the small blind. It's going to cost him 30k to call, but pretty obvious for him to make a raise here. Put in the 3-bet. Jamie Hall.
I was just having a while this is thinking of what's going to happen. I imagine this is going to get a bet large and maybe we don't go. Oh no, there you go. King Queen not waking up with Charlie, so definitely going to get a bit of action going on here, I would say. But I had a really interesting chat with Troy Sweet before we went on to this stream. So I just want to divulge and go into some of those chats because, as always, he just had some great insight into the game in this game particularly. But we'll leave that until after the section. Although that King Queen's been folded here, folded to the 3-bet.
Yeah, so pretty easy 3-bet from the small blind with the pocket jacks. Going to get it done. Peter Panayidis there with the Jack 10.
Quite tight of Charlie off 44 to fold the King Queen to the 3-bet, but then
you have to be pretty strong to be raising out of the blinds, especially out of position in the small blind. So he has to give him credit for a monster there, and he did. He had the pocket jacks. There's Troy Sweet on the stream at the moment, sitting right next to his rival, I guess you could call it, Eddie. They are good mates and have played a lot of poker together. So there'll probably be a bit of banter between them both, but they'll be shooting for this top prize here of 10k. Second's going to pick up $6,025. Third will pick up 4,200, and the remainder of the payouts are at the bottom of the screen in that little event ribbon. As I'm joined in the comm booth with Jamie Hall, the man himself, who brings you all of that behind-the-scenes backstage footage. And you've done a phenomenal job at that too, Jamie. I know that the people in the chat have been giving you big props for all that additional footage that you provide. Something a bit different for this particular stream, Jamie, and everybody seems to like it.
That's very kind. I got to say, I don't take compliments too well. So every time you say my name instead of saying I'm doing something good, I cringe a little bit. So.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep doing it then, because you do everything good. As Charlie Heaton in the small blind funds, the ace-queen decides just to limp in. So he's going to play this one a bit tricky, not put in the raise pre-flop with the best hand. He's got to check his option. Peter Panayidis has the queen 9. He's heavily dominated, as you can see with the equities in the bottom left-hand corner. The repeat 4 peels off on the turn. The board was 8-4-7 on the flop. 2 diamonds down, repeat 4 on the turn, bringing in the double flush draws. However, none of the players are suited here, so don't worry about them. As Charlie, he is from the UK. He's got about at 25k. He does have the same accent as yourself. He might be from the same area. Jamie?
I wasn't sure actually. I did notice that he was a Pommy lads, just when he was saying a few seconds ago. But it sounds reasonably southern. But I didn't speak to him enough to get a better. I'd say straight away. I just went more English. Just as it happens, honestly. Nadal and the boys take the massive piss out of me all the time. Just all they say is bottle of water. That's it.
Bottle of water.
That is the needle. Yeah. Bottle of water. It doesn't matter what I say, what the subject is, what the context is.
Sure.
A bottle of water.
There you go.
Very good. Cheers. Thanks for it. Good gag.
Robbie Lamb just jumping over the infrastructure here to get back to his seat in time. Robbie sitting there in seat 8. Seems like a very lovely guy. I've never met him actually outside of interviewing him just before we got onto stream. He seems like he's got a good vibe about the guy. And I like that type of positive energy as we get back to the action here. Under the gun, +3. And Rui finds the 8-4 suited in clubs. He's going to elect to fold. Gavin Ogilvie is going to fold.
It's hot on that side of the table. Jacks, King, Queen, Ace, Queen, now Ace, King for Robert Lamb.
Is that Mai in the dealer's chair?
No, that is Rena.
Oh, I do apologise. Rena coming in, dealing this feature table for the time being.
Just another absolute Japanese gun, of which we have quite a few down here.
Yep, they are some of the best dealers in the country, even though they're not from this country. So shout outs to the Japanese crew who can't make their way over here to deal the cards, not only just for Kings, but for other operators out there. They are some of the best in the industry, like you said. Jamie Hall, the Ace King, is going to take that down uncontested. The blinds here are 10k, 20k with a 20k big blind ante. Tim Venari, Mr. GQ himself, down to 7.5 bigs and 150k.
So what I was going to say, I was just having a little chat with Troy as we were waiting for these guys all to come back, and it's quite interesting actually talking about how some of the dynamics change in this mystery bounty. He was actually saying that he thinks that a lot of people in this format kind of undervalue the bounty part of it and kind of don't get after it enough,
Sure.
Which is really interesting. It's kind of funny. He actually said that pub players tend to actually go after it and use that additional part a bit more, and they sort of go from loose to even looser, which is kind of what you should be doing, I think, for these mystery bounty, because I think people just undervalue the money that is there, and obviously it's quite huge when you got 10,000 up top or 5,000 still to go. I think we still have the $2,500 bounty to pull in this, so still a really decent whack on that one. So definitely going to see a little bit of upturned aggression.
Gong Lee's found the King Deuce of diamonds, and Troy Sweet finds the Ace Deuce offsuit in the big blind in a blind v blind battle. And Troy Sweet's out with the lead at the moment, 67% equity, 2-1 chip. 2-1 equity favourite at the moment. Can Gong Lee find some diamonds or a king? He can. There's a king straight on the flop. King 10-8, and there's another king on the turn for good measure. Troy does pick up a flush draw, and he gets there on the river. That is a disgusting run out. So it's come running clubs there.
Absolute min flush.
And Troy, who obviously wears that ambassador's branding and that sort of patch representing the Kings boys, getting it done with the 4 flush coming in on the river, and that bare little ace deuce, the deuce of clubs making a flush, despite the fact that there was a king on the flop and a king on the turn. We're going to lose the player in seat 2. He's going to be picking up $1,200 for their efforts.
Yeah, actually nicely deep in this. Pretty much every player is 40 bigs plus. 2 just slightly below that. And we've got 60, 67, 79. We are really nice deep. So this is going to be some really fun play, I think. There's going to be slightly less ICM pressure because the prize pool is split between the bounties, so the pay jumps are a little bit smaller. So I think it'll be slightly more pure form of poker, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So Gong Lee is going to be out in 9th, picking up 1,200. Had the King Deuce of diamonds, found the king on the flop, looked like he was going to take it down. Finds another king on the turn, but unfortunately for him, the 4 flush hitting at the river, and Troy Sweet's deuce of clubs making the flush and eliminating him. So all of a sudden we're down to 8 names and chip stacks and big blinds in play at the top of your screen. And you know what? A bit of shout out to the main sponsor, or the majority sponsor, or the big time sponsor of this particular stream, Link Tech Australia, providing you with what you're seeing on your device or on your TV at home. Now, Jamie, you have said this a couple of times on the stream, and I'm going to do it one more time for you. Talk to them a little bit about watching it a little bit more in high def on YouTube as opposed to Facebook Live.
Yeah, just a bit of a preference just in terms of quality. So YouTube just has slightly less compression on the video. We are trying to optimize this for absolute full max quality. So you will get a lot more benefit of that on YouTube. YouTube is King's Premium Poker Room. You can also subscribe on YouTube, and that will give you a notification when we go live, because we sort of say we'll be on in 20 minutes and half an hour, but obviously there's a little bit of to and fro on that, depending on the players. So that will just help you get that correct. So worth going to subscribe at King's Premium Poker Room to get the highest quality version of the action.
And that has actually been confirmed by MSP in the chat, who said, well, I've turned it on my TV and the quality on YouTube is actually much more superior. Jamie is 100% right. So confirmation coming in from MSP, who usually watches the stream on Facebook Live, but obviously has now made the transition over to YouTube to watch it. And we suggest the rest of you do the same. If you prefer to watch it on Facebook, just on your device, go ahead. They're happy to take viewership from any platform as we get back to the action here. This is the Mystery Bounty Day 2, $600 buy-in. Of that buy-in, $250 goes towards these mystery bounties that you collect. Once you get eliminated, you get a chance to spin that barrel and try and pull out a bounty. Those bounties are all different in values. The max bounty of 10K and the second max bounty of 5K have already been awarded. So there's still a 2.5K in there and a couple of other smaller prizes. But these players, I'd imagine, now making the final table are eyeing off the first prize in the prize pool for this particular event of 10K. As we can see, a race to 50K. The blinds are 10K, 20K with a 20K big blind ante. This is hand number 5.
It's a little bit interesting because I feel like this goes in all the time.
Yeah.
But against an under the gun, can you ever really find a fold there? Like, you can be dominated, but...
No, you whack this here quite often.
There we go.
And that's exactly what Mr. GQ Tim Finari does with his pocket 8s.
Are we holding or are we getting a bust?
I think we're going to hold. So I'm going to take the 8s here versus the ace queen, and here comes the flop. Comes 4-5 jack, 2 diamonds, no help to the ace queen so far. Tim out in front, 72% equity. Repeat jack on the turn, now up to 84% equity, and the river card brings in the king of diamonds, so no help to the ace queen. Henry is going to double up. Tim Venari now up to 15 bigs or 290K with those pocket 8s, and they did hold.
Yes.
So I'm now
Tim doubled up, but yes.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
So I'm now going to be 1 from 20. That's not too bad. I'll take it.
Sounding a bit like a horse racing commentator there, as she's absolutely whacking down that board. That's super fast. Keeping up with it well, Mikey. Very good.
I do my best to try and follow the action as fast as possible. Some of these dealers are rapid fire dealers, so I have to speak at 1,000 words a second to be able to call the action. And luckily for me and for the viewers, I've been around the game such a long time that I can do it, I think, quite competently. But
I think you're just in a flow state. I don't think you're even thinking about it. You're just seeing it and your mouth is moving.
That's good call.
I should say, by the way, Peter Panayides is currently 5th in the Player of the Series. He's been having lots of good runs, so this is going to probably cement him into at least the top 3, putting him in a primo spot for the Sydney Millions ticket worth 2K. Speaking of the devil, comes in a hijack with the ace queen suited.
Perfect lead in there, Jamie. You got to love that.
Knew it
On
was gonna
cue.
happen. Yeah. I'm the good luck bunny, aren't I? Isn't that what we discovered?
That was beautiful, Jamie. Actually on cue.
Just sprinkle it.
Well played, sir. He's going to raise it up and make a 50K to go in the hijack with the ace queen on cue, like Jamie Hall. It was almost like you've seen it. You know what I mean? It was like finish that sentence straight into the ace queen. Well done. Raised to 50K, and everyone's going to fold except for the big blind of Henry Zhang. He finds the 8-6 offsuit in the big blind. And have a look at this for a flop. Comes queen 8-3. They've both picked up a piece of it. Peter with nut pair with the nut kicker, or top as other people like to call it. Henry here has picked up middle pair, so he's probably going to go nowhere to a better 50K. Let's see if he's going to peel off a 6 or an 8 on the turn or the river. Can't see him making a fold here after flopping a pair. Could get himself a little bit caught here. He does have 21 bigs or 410K in his stack, so he needs to be mindful of how to navigate this particular hand. And this is the trouble I was talking about. He's made it 130K, so he's raised it 80K back to Peter Panayides. To be fair, I might call him Peter Pan.
Yeah, well, Hungary's just got an SPR of 1 behind now, so it feels like this is probably going to go. I mean, he could smooth it, but might be tempted to whack it in against any potential flush draws.
Good call. And it looks like we got white chips in play. Do we there, Jamie?
Yeah, white's 100K.
Well, there you go. So white chips are 100K. Those 25K chips are the greys. 5K chips are the orange. And the blue chip you can see to the left is the bounty chip. They have no tournament value. They're just the value. They're just the bounty. Here comes Peter. He said enough's enough this.
Asking if he's got the minerals.
He puts in a 3-bet on the flop to 260K. So action back round to Henry, who now believes that maybe his second best pair on this board is not going to be good enough, and he does elect to fold. It's a good fold, to be fair. Peter could have been doing that with a flush draw, like an ace-king of clubs or ace-jack of clubs or something to that fruition. He also could be doing it with ace-queen, which is exactly what he was holding. So good fold there by Henry.
Just if you just notice, currently just Peter randomly has his headshot. That's because he made a farm table previously, so we always already have the photo on file, whereas I just tried the other ones. And I know you like to sort of, say where a good job's being done, but I don't mind saying when a bad job's being done. Come on, Matty, sort your life out and get the other ones up there. Making me look bad here, buddy.
You got to love that. Anyhow, we've got to get back to the action here. Matty's doing a phenomenal job downstairs, so I will tip my hat to him. It's not easy tracking all the cards, listening to my rubbish here in the comm booth, and also directing you a little bit, Jamie, as well, to get that behind the scenes stuff, and then producing what you're seeing on stream at home or on your device as we get back to the action. Peter Panayiotis under the gun +2 finds the Queen 7 of diamonds. And there was a raise with the Ace King from Robert Lamb under the gun. Sorry, 240k. Tim's on the button. It's going to fold the 7-4 of hearts. Henry finds the 10 deuce. The Doyle Brunson, rest in peace in the small blind. Gavin can't compete with the 5-3 offsuit.
Should say production and/or Matty does have the ability to send us messages for things if we need, and response may have sent me some profanity, hence why Monkey's having a little chuckle.
I was chuckling through that. I also couldn't see the stream because he's got the ability to chuck a notepad straight over what we're viewing up here, blocking the view completely.
Right, speaking of this production, I'm going to have to go and do some of that, so I will leave you holding the fort and try and get someone else in here for you there, Monkey.
Thank you, sir. So Jamie Hall leaving us for the time being. Got some work to do as the action continues here in the $600 mystery bounty day 2. Prize pool was $75,705. Up top, 10K. People at home might be thinking, how is the prize pool $75,000 and the top prize being 10K? It's because $250 of each buy into this event goes towards an envelope with a random dollar value in there, to which when you collect bounties, you get an opportunity to be able to spin the barrel and pull out an envelope with a random amount on there, hence the mystery part of the bounty. And that correlates to some dollars, some extra dollars in this particular event. These mystery bounties have become quite popular in modern day poker. So I'd imagine you're going to see more and more of these events across all of the poker operators across Australia. It's a massive event actually in the WSOP, where they've got mystery bounties where the top prize can be up to $1 million. So if you like this type of format and you got the dollars to go overseas and play this over there, WSOP, you might give yourself a chance of squeezing out $1 million in the mystery bounty. Forget about that for the time being. We're going to get back to the action right here at the King's Premium Poker Room at the St. George Leagues Club, 124 Princess Highway in Cogra. I've said it once and I'll say it 150 times. Forget about that for the time being. I'll get to that in a second. Tim, Mr. GQ Venari finds the aces in the hijack. Much needed. It's got 14 bigs. 280k. Great spot to have aces. Needs to get through the cutoff. Dealer button, small blind and big blind. He's got to pop it up and make it 50k to go. 2.5x the blinds. Ken Rui finds the 8-6 offsuit in the cutoff. And Gavin, unfortunately for him, has picked up the ace-queen. He's the gentleman you can see with the green shirt on. And I'd imagine Gavin's going to come in here for a 3-bet. Thank you very much, Jeff. That's very... And that's exactly what he does for 140k. Robert Lamb, next to act after him, 40 bigs, 805k. Got the king 10 off. Obviously facing a 3-bet, so that hand shrivels up quite a lot. And Charlie's going to fold the 8-6 off. Tim Venari now, the action's back on him. Double checks his cards. He knows exactly what he's got too. So he's going to Hollywood for a little bit here and then just whack it in for 230k. And Gavin will be in a position where he almost has to call. So he'll be pop committed by that stage. So a little bit of Hollywooding here from Mr. GQ. Double checking again. Let me tell you something. In this game, you know when you've got aces. He's going to show the aces with a bit of a slow roll there too. And Gavin gives the nod of approval as he realises his ace-queen needs to get extremely lucky here. He's only 8%. Needs some cards to make a Broadway straight. Well, a couple of queens would also help. The flop comes down 10-3-7. 2 hearts, no help at all to Gavin. Queen on the turn actually gives him a few more outs. 6% equity. Needs to find another queen. Doesn't find it. The 5 of diamonds, Berkey's prop card at the river. The aces will get a full double up. And all of a sudden, Tim, who came into this final table quite short. I think he had 7.5 bigs. Now up to 31 bigs. So good on you, Tim. Finding the right cards at the right time.
I know, but you know.
And getting the job done there.
I might fold. Trying to make a fair jump.
I think you're both as likely as each other to fold.
Yeah, well, obviously not. Well, if I snap shove like,
Yeah,
Just getting back to the action here. Just needed to modify something off camera. Didn't want you guys to hear the banging around on the microphone as I was moving some equipment. Bryce Dool came in to the chat before the start of this particular stream, saying that he flopped quads with pocket queens and lost 2 pocket aces that also made quads. So that's a horrific bad beat, and hence the reason for why he hates pocket queens, and I don't blame him. Talking about big pocket pair on cue again. Eddie here picks up the pocket cowboys under the gun +1. It's going to make it 45k to go. Tim's going to get out of the way with the 7-4 off. Henry finds the ace-9 in the hijack, and he's going to move it all in for 270k. So another dream spot for Eddie. He's going to make the easiest call in poker and flick in 225k more to go. He's going to see the good news that Henry has ace-9, just the single overcard. Can he fade the ace? Here comes the flop, and it comes queen 8 deuce. Of course he fades it. Turn card brings in a repeat queen, so only the ace. There's 3 outs remaining and a king for good measure. Eddie just making the nut full house to go along with his run good. And Henry Zhang out in 8th, picking up 1,400 bucks. And Eddie doing what Eddie does. Finding hands, making them, and increasing more chips into his chip stack. So now up to 97 bigs, 1.935 million in chips. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight to see the conclusion of the Mystery Bounty Day 2, I should say, right here at the St George Leagues Club on 24 Princess Highway, Cogra. Brought to you by the King's Premium Poker Room in conjunction with Link Tech Australia, who is the proud sponsor of this stream. Eddie finds the ace-3 offsuit under the gun. Not good enough. Tim Venari doesn't like the ace-9 offsuit under the gun +1. Gavin's got to get out of the way. Here comes Robbie Lamb. Finds the four-side, pocket 10s in the cutoff. Good enough to make a raise, and he does. He's going to make it 45. Charlie's going to get out of the way with the queen 8 off. Darcy asking a question about when does he pick the mystery bounty. I'll explain that just after this hand, if you don't mind, Darcy, as Troy Sweet picks up the ace-king offsuit in the big blind. And he's actually got Robert Lamb covered. Troy Sweet, one of the ambassadors for Kings, finding the big slick in the big blind. He's got 1.3 million or 64 bigs. Robert Lamb has 760 or 38 bigs to his chip stack. And Troy's going to come in here with a 3-bet to 150k. Action back round to Robbie, who decides to jam it all in. And Troy's going to call instantly with ace-king. So standard race situation. Pocket pair versus 2 overcards. You'll see this a hell of a lot of times in No Limit Hold'em. These hands always battle against each other, and the flop comes down ace-jack 9, all diamonds. No diamonds for Robbie. Needs to find a 7, queen, or a 10 at the river, and doesn't find it as the 8 of diamonds peels off on the turn. 4 of hearts at the river, and Troy's going to bust Robert Lamb in 7th for 1,700. Now this is on cue for you, Darcy. So when does the players get to pick the mystery bounties? Once they get eliminated, they take their bounty chips that they've accumulated throughout this tournament to the tournament director. In this particular instance, it might be Paddy Russell. And they get themselves an opportunity to be able to have a spin to collect one of those bounties. And hopefully, with Jamie Hall, given the behind-the-scenes stuff, we'll be able to capture the next bounty that will be spun out of that barrel. So there's the answer for you, Darcy. So the whole idea is you collect these bounties throughout the event, and then when you bust, you pass your bounty chip over to another player, take the bounties that you've collected during the tournament, go over there, and the amount of bounties will indicate how many times you've got a chance of peeling out the winning envelope. Technically speaking, all the envelopes are winning, but everybody wants the top prize of 10K, but it was already awarded earlier tonight, along with the second best prize of 5K that was also awarded probably about an hour and a half ago. So there's still a 2.5K in that barrel, along with a couple of 1500s, maybe 1,000, a couple of 500s, and so on and so forth. I think there's about 8 or 9 bounties left. Last time I went out there to check, as Charlie Heaton in the cutoff finds the pocket 9s. He's going to pop it up and make it 40K to go. Eddie's going to defend with the 8-5 from the big blind. The flop comes down 10-6-4, so gut shot for Eddie. Needs to find a 7 ball. And Charlie pretty happy with his holdings at the moment with pocket 9s. Only one overcard on this board so far, so he's going to come out and bet 35K. Back round to Eddie. Is he going to float and see if he can peel off a 7 on the turn? Yeah, Darcy, it's a good question. Don't you think it's more disadvantage waiting for the last longer? Well, they are also playing for prize money. As you can see, that has been pinned in the chat. So it's not just the mystery bounties. It's an additional awarding prize pool amount on top of the actual prize pool for the event, which is pinned in the chat. So these players not only want to go deep in the event to win the prize pool for the event, but also hope by the time that they get there, the big ones are still in that barrel. But occasionally you do see some lucky people pulling out the top prizes in the mystery bounty before they reach the final table, which is exactly what happened in this particular event. As another repeat 10 peels off on the turn, that's a great card for Charlie. He's almost certain he knows that he's in front with pocket 9s here, despite the fact that Eddie likes to play a wide range of cards. So hopefully, Darcy, that answers your question there in chat. Have a look at Eddie. He's going to have a stab at it. He's going to bet 150K. Wow, with a repeat 10 on the turn. Now, I can't personally see Charlie, who does stem from the UK, does have that thick UK accent, similar to that of Jamie Hall, going anywhere here with the pocket 9s. He should be good. Combinatorically, he should be good often enough here to make a call. And there it is. So not letting me down there, Charlie, as he does make the call. Here comes the river. And it brings in the 7 of spades. Talk about a card from just the gods of poker for Eddie. He spikes the gut shot. It was a 2-outer at the river to make the straight to the 8. The second nut straight here. What a card at the river for Eddie. Not only running good, but also getting extremely lucky. Finds the gut shot, and he's going to most likely put in a huge bet here after making his hand. And he's going to bet 1.6 million. Now, all of a sudden, Charlie needs to try and decipher what to do here with the pocket 9s. He's got incredibly lucky here, unlucky, I should say, at the river here, as Eddie has found that 2 out of 7 at the river to complete that straight. 4 to 8. The second nut straight, obviously the nut straight here being 9-8. The only thing that Charlie might be considering here is that there is 4 house potentials out. There is also that 9-8 and 8-5 straight potential. So his pocket nines do shrivel up a little bit in equity. It's still an incredibly difficult decision to make a call here, especially considering he thinks that the 7 of spades wouldn't have helped his opponent all that much. But as we can see with the whole cards, you couldn't have helped Eddie any better. His absolute number 1 gin card was the 7 of spades, or the other 7 remaining in the deck to make that straight. And he's binked it. And now putting Charlie to the test for the remainder of his chips. I think he finds a call here, unfortunately, for Charlie. He's going to be slightly disappointed. He's been sucked out on. For you watching at home, what would you do? If you were Charlie here with the pocket nines, do you call and see the bad news, or can you find the muck? It's a good question to pose to the chat. I'd like to see how you guys at home would be playing this if you were in this particular situation. And if he does call and lose here, he will be picking up $2,100 for his efforts. And passing another bounty chip, actually, to Edwin. And he does make the correct fold. He's going to be extremely happy about that when he watches this back in approximately 25 or 30 minutes, or more likely on his break, because he can't use the phone at the feature table. But you can see he's in a bit of a world of hurt. But he made the correct laydown, so props to him. Charlie Heaton finding the fold of a lifetime, and Eddie finding the absolute nut card at the river there. Unbelievable. Sometimes when the stars align for you, you feel like you can't miss, and Eddie's been feeling that for at least 2.5 years. Every single time I see him at a poker arena, he happens to be on a feature table doing Eddie things, as Charlie Heaton now picks up the aces. And now here we go. A little bit of poetic justice. Just got sucked out on and now picks up the best hand in No Limit Hold'em. Your best starting hand, I should say. He pops up and makes it 60k to go. Let's see if Eddie decides to give him a few back. He doesn't, funds the king 2 off. And I don't think Tim's gonna call either from the big line with 7-5 offsuit. So he might just get a pick up the blinds here with aces. Tim, I don't think, is going to flick in a call. I know it's only going to cost him 2 bigs, and he doesn't. So Charlie gets a walk, essentially, with aces, and it's going to be slightly disappointed. A couple of back-to-back unfortunate situations there for Charlie.
Proud punter.
Gee whiz. Eddie finds the 7, then he finds the aces the following hand and doesn't get any action. That is the cruel part of this game. I will pose this question to the chat, because I do make this question to most of the guests we have in the commentary booth. What do you prefer, or what do you hate more? Is probably a better way to word the question. Being bad beated or being card dead. Me personally, I hate being card dead. Bad beats are just part of the game, but folding and folding and folding for hours on end, not picking up a hand, is torture, especially when the blinds are coming around. So I'm going to pose that question to the chat. Being card dead or copping a bad beat? What is worse? As the flop comes down 10-10 deuce after Peter Panayiotis raised it to 60k and Gavin decided to defend Queen 6 of clubs. Now this is a pretty big flop. Peter's flop 3 of a kind, and Gavin's got the flush draw that hits on the turn as the Jack of clubs peels off on the turn. So Peter needs to find a club at the river to over club at Gavin. Can also hit a Jack of 10, a deuce, or a king. As you can see from his outs at the top of the screen, 14 outs going into the river. So despite the fact that he is behind at the moment, he still has 40% equity in this hand to beat Gavin, who has turned the flush. And on cue, Gavin Ogilvy here is going to pop it up and make it 125k to go after making the flush on the turn. And Peter's going to be thinking his 3 of a kind 10s with the flush draw king high is good enough to continue, and he does make a call. So off to the river we go. He needs to find it king, 10, jack, deuce, or club. Talk about a blank. There is the 6 of spades. No help to Peter. As Gavin almost certainly will jam this river for 9.5 bigs. Pot is 400k. He's got 190 behind. And there it is on cue. And Peter's going to snap it off. He flicks in the call with 1 chip. And Gavin's going to get a full double up there, up to now 39 bigs or 780k in chips. Unfortunately for Peter, he was forced to make a call there. And that was it.
180.
Kylie coming in the chat asking how old am I? I'm 41. Hopefully I don't sound any older than that, but yes, I am 41 years of age, 23rd of January, 1985. My mum and my dad decided to, well, more so my mum decided to have me then. My dad did the job 9 months earlier. But I am 41 years of age. For those guys just tuning in, you might not know my voice. My name is Josh Monk, aka Monkey. I do a podcast with a good friend of mine who's been in all week with me doing the commentary, Adam Burke. Shout outs to Berkey. He's off handling a family matter. So he might be back tomorrow and or Sunday. So I'm calling this solo for this evening until I believe there might be a chance Natan, the owner of King's Premium Poker Room in conjunction with Mark Liddell, might be joining me in the comm booth at some point. So if you want to ask questions of the owner, Natan will be coming in hopefully at some stage. I know he's out there looking after the Colossus main event, which is a $750 buy-in. I'm talking about some events that are going on at the moment. It is Friday the 29th of May 2026. The Colossus, which is the main event, does have a $300,000 guarantee. Started today at 6 p.m. It's a $750 buy-in, a 50k starting stack, half an hour levels, and unlimited re-entries into that event until day 2. The record prize pool for that event in the past has been $462,800, and I'm telling you right now, I'd imagine that they're going to surpass that during this particular series, as the numbers are looking very promising. I might even be able to bring you information about that shortly. There is also the Drawmaha on. However, late registration for the Drawmaha concluded about 50 minutes ago. Drawmaha is a carnival mixed game. It's a 5-card draw and a 5-card PLO split pot game. And those players are battling it out for an $11,000 prize pool out there. I think they got 37 entries, and I believe they're down to the final couple of tables as we speak. And Pap in the chat joining us saying, go Peter Pan. So maybe the nickname I've given Peter Panayides is going to stick. He is kind of a big kid at heart, so might be a good nickname for Peter Pan. Get back to the action here. Eddie finds the ace-5 offsuit under the gun. That's good enough for him. And he is going to raise it up and make it 70k to go. Tim's going to fold in the hijack with a 10-5 off. Gavin Ogilvy is going to fold the 6-3 of diamonds. Round to Peter Pan on cue. You beauty. Finds the candle sticks here, the pocket 7s in the small blind. I'd imagine he is going to call, which he does. I'm try and set mine with these pocket 7s. And Troy Sweet, the ambassador for the King's Premium Poker Room, is in the big blind with the 9-4 suited in clubs. He's going to come along as well.
6, 3, 4,
So
7.
three-way action. And here comes the flop. And it comes deuce, 4, jack, 2 diamonds. Edwin has flopped a gut shot to the wheel. Peter has the best hand at the moment with a pair of 7s. Troy Sweet has also picked up a pair of 4s on this board. Pete's going to check out of position from the small blind. Troy's going to check behind. And now the action goes back onto Eddie, who I'd imagine might check this back. But on cue decides to make me look a bit foolish. And instead elects to put in a bet of 90k. So action back around to Peter. I'd like to see Pete peel off a card here on the flop. Gonna double check his whole cards. I think pocket 7s have enough equity on this particular board texture to peel one off, especially to a bet of 90k. Peter actually might be thinking about putting in a raise, and he does. I love this from Peter. Great play. He's going to see if he can drag out some information from
100,
Edwin.
190,
As Troy Sweet has elected to fold.
6, 3, 4.
Now what are we going to do, Eddie? Facing a raise of 100k. Eddie does have 5 of diamonds in his hand. He can hit some running diamonds to make a flush. But also looking to see if he can spike an ace or a 3 on the turn of the river. And he does elect to flick in a call.
4, 1, 9.
Just going to see if he can pick up the 3 or the ace on the turn. Turn card brings in the 7 of hearts. Gin card for Peter. Turns a set, and a big one too. Second nut set. He's going to be absolutely over the moon that that card has peeled off on the turn. He is behind near never in this spot. Hence the reason for why he's got 92% equity to his name at the moment. Finding the 7 of hearts, huge card for Pete. That's probably the reason for why he looks like he's frozen on the telecast. He couldn't believe that that 7 of hearts has peeled off, and now he's going to grab some chips and look at making a pretty sizable bet here. And there it is. He's going to bet 200k. Have a look at Eddie. He's going to have to think this one through. Now the ace doesn't help him anymore. So he's looking at 3 clean outs. 3 of spades, 3 of hearts, 3 of clubs. 3 of diamonds was burnt in the pre-flop deal. Mo's jumped into the chat there. Would you like a massage? Happy to come and give a free massage. Absolutely love a massage, to be honest. And Eddie does make that fold there, and Peter's going to take down a pretty sizable pot there. Now up to 48 bigs, 1.44 million in chips. For those people just tuning in, you're watching the King's Premium Poker Room at the St George Leagues Club, the Mystery Bounty Day 2. The final 6 players are playing it out for a top prize of 10k. It's a $600 buy-in, to which they got 147 entries into, creating a prize pool of $75,705, to which of that $600 buy-in to enter into this event, $250 of it went towards a separate prize, or prizes, I should say, in mystery bounties. What happens is they collect all that money, they write down random numbers on a piece of paper, and they put it in an envelope that goes into a barrel, and every time a player is eliminated who has a bounty that they can collect on, they go over to the barrel, spin the barrel around, and give themselves an opportunity to be able to squeeze out the top prize of $10,000 in that barrel. And if you're lucky enough to get it, and you get to keep that 10k, you don't even have to play out the rest of the tournament. The 10k and the 5k have already been awarded. So I think there's a 2.5K in there, maybe a couple of 1,500s, maybe a couple of thousands. So these players not only playing for the prize money that you can see scrolling at the bottom of the screen, they've also got an opportunity to be able to squeeze up a bounty or two. So getting back to the action here, Peter Pan decided to raise it to 60K with the ace-5 off. He actually has the hand that Edwin had last hand. And Eddie decided to call from the big blind with the 5-3 offsuit. Edwin checked from the big blind on the flop of King 5 Jack.
I was in one flat, I was on the left.
Peter decided to bet 70K and Eddie decided to call. They both have a pair of fives, but obviously Eddie is outkicked at the moment
I was shoving
as Peter has the nut 5. Pair of fives with a nut kicker. And Eddie needing to find a 3 at the river to take this one away from Peter, and doesn't. The 9 of clubs peels off. Let's see what Eddie decides to do first to act here from the big blind. Is he going to try and steal this one away from Peter? The 9 of clubs does bring in the Queen 10 straight. He's going to check, and Peter's going to check behind. Peter's going to show him the goods with the ace-5. Edwin gives the nod of approval as he realises his 5 was outkicked by the ace of Peter Panayiotis. Charlie Heaton is my Pommy hero from Dominic, who's joined us on Facebook Live. So a bit of support here for Charlie Heaton. I don't know if you saw the hand before, Dominic, but it was pretty brutal. Pocket 9s. Would repeated a 10 on the turn. And believe it or not, Eddie found the gut shot 2-outer at the river to make the straight to the 8. And Charlie made an amazing fold actually at the river. I was expecting him to make a call, but he didn't. He folded. Following hand, he picked up aces and got no action. So amazing fold, and then I was hoping for his sake he was going to get some action with these aces and got none of it. So the game can be a bit torturous at times, and that definitely was the case for Charlie earlier, but he's still in here and still in contention to take down this 10K first prize in this $600 history bounty event. As we get back to the action, under the gun, Gavin found the pocket 4s, the two-side for those people who play back row. He's going to raise it up to 60K. Troy Sweet's going to get out of the way with the worst hand in No Limit Hold'em, the 7-deuce offsuit. Fold from the small blind, and Tim Venari, straight out of the magazine, Timmy, has got the 9-3 offsuit. He's going to show it face up and gets a bit of a laugh there out of Gavin. So if you're liking the stream and or liking the product that we're putting out there, like and subscribe to King's Room on YouTube and on Facebook Live. And every time we go live with the stream and or want to keep abreast of all of the social media stuff, jump on there. And we'll let you know when we're next back online. There was talks of maybe streaming the PLO High Roller tomorrow. And if not, we'll be back on Sunday to do the streaming of day 2 of the Colossus, their main event here at the King's Room. And obviously that event will conclude on Monday when they come back at 5 p.m. to battle it out for all the money in that main event. There's a $300,000 guarantee in that particular event, and they will surpass that probably by early tomorrow, if not earlier. They might even do it tonight. The record prize pool for that particular event is $462,800. I'd imagine they're probably going to beat that during this particular series, as the numbers here have been outstanding. As we see a raise from Eddie on the button with the 10-3 of diamonds, trying to trick it up a little bit. Got called by Gavin in the big blind with the Jack-9 of diamonds. So he's got his diamonds covered. The flop came down Jack Deuce 4, 2 hearts. Gavin has flop top pair, so he's looking in pretty good shape here. Edwin down to 4% equity. Needs to find some running cards to help him. Gavin checked the flop, allowing Eddie to c-bet, which he did for 55K. Gavin's elected to call. Turn card brings in the deuce of spades. No help to Eddie, who is now drawing dead. Check mark goes next to Gavin's name, so Gavin can't lose this hand no matter what comes at the river. But Eddie does have the opportunity and the skill set to see if he can bluff his hand through to get the win. That's a potential card that could do it too. So Gavin first to act as the 8 of hearts now completes a flush draw. If Eddie did have hearts in his hand. I imagine Gavin here is probably going to check, just realise his equity and play small ball poker. But I'd also like to see him make a bet here and put the action back onto Eddie. But I'd imagine he's probably going to check here. And on cue again. Makes me look a bit foolish. He's going to raise it, or bet, I should say, 110k. Put the pressure back on Eddie. Now, I'd love to see Eddie make a play here, but doesn't. Eddie gives him respect and says, nice hand, and taps the table. And Pap coming in saying, what level can you rebuy to in the main event on day 2? Is it the first 2 or 3 levels? The answer to that is on Sunday, May the 31st. You can buy into that event. Max Late Regit at the end of level 2. So there'll be 2 levels, and then I'd imagine there would be a 15-minute window for those people who like to Max Late Reg the main event. So you've got 2 levels. So if I was you, Anthony, you wanted to get in there and do the main event on Sunday, day 2, get in there before the start of play, just to make sure you're here on time. But there does say on the schedule, there are 2 levels of play. Then there'll be a small window, probably 15 minutes or so, to get all the Max Late Reggers who'd like to come in and play that main event using that Max Late Reg strategy. So we get back to the action here. Peter Panayiotis under the gun finds the 4-4, the pocket 4s, pops it up, gets no action. It's a good question there, Anth. And what would the blinds start at on day 2? You're probably wondering how many bigs you start with. I might ask the people downstairs in the production room to give me an idea of what that looks like. If I was to take a guess, I'd say something like 16 bigs, but I'll see if I can find out for you. So I have asked production downstairs to get you that answer for you, as Edwin finds the Queen 10 offsuit in the hijack. It's going to raise up and make it 70k to go. The blinds are 15k, 30k with a 30k big blind ante. This is hand number 22 of this final table stream. We have already lost 3 players as Gavin finds the ace-jack offsuit on the button. That's going to be good enough to make a raise, but it doesn't. He elects to make a call instead. So he's going to be navigating this hand a little bit more, with a little bit more caution, mainly because Eddie does have quite a wide range of hands that he likes to play, but also has 1.6 million in chips that does have Gavin covered. The flop does come down 9-6 deuce with 2 clubs. There's the answer for you, Anth Pap. Straight in there, there's the production crew coming right in. Max Late is 1.5k, 3k, 3k. And if you're unaware, you do start with a 50k starting stack in that main. So there you have it. Thank you very much, boys, down there in the production. Appreciate you helping Anth out with the answer in the chat. Eddie's going to bet out 75k from the hijack, and Gavin is going to fold the ace-jack. And you absolutely cannot make it up. You dead set can't make this up. I couldn't believe it when I turned around. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Natan from Kings, one of the owners alongside Mark Liddell, and I partnered also with Rob Dorosky, is going to be joining me right now in the commentary booth. I didn't think it was going to happen, but he's chucked on the old hoodie and he's come in here, and here he is, the big man himself. Natan, how are you, mate? You well?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, mate. You must be pretty happy with
Straight
the numbers out there in the main and all the numbers for the entire series?
Absolutely.
What are we looking at for the numbers in the main at the moment, just out there in the flight C?
C's got 141.
Beautiful.
Um,
Total numbers?
total
Got any
numbers, I
idea?
think we're about 400 at the moment.
Beautiful.
Tomorrow's flight's plus day 2 entry.
Yep.
So I reckon we're going to sneak a 500k price pool out of that main.
Yep. Beautiful.
So yeah, we've got the previous record of 460.
Yeah. They're 462 800, but I reckon you guys will eat that up pretty quickly.
I reckon we're going to get there.
Yep. What do you anticipate here, Natan? Do you think maybe 600? Maybe?
Yeah, we're a chance.
Chance? There you go.
Chance.
You're hearing it from the
Definitely.
horse's mouth.
2 flights tomorrow. I'd say the flight D, the Arvo flight, that's always popular.
Beautiful.
People can get away without a late finish. Nice and fresh for day 2 Sunday.
There we go. So we have the big man, Natan, whose birthday it was yesterday. He said he turned 39. I couldn't believe it. So happy birthday to Natan, or a belated one for that matter.
Thank you, mate.
And it's good to have you join me here in the commentary booth. I have been doing this solo, or a little bit of Jamie Hall coming in. And I have to admit, Natan, this is an unbelievable setup.
Uh-huh.
Brand new everywhere, and I have been saying this on stream a couple of times. It's a brand new table, new design, brand new seats. The only thing that you're looking at the moment that isn't brand new is the carpet.
That's very true.
There you go.
As a fresh, spanking new setup, we're
Yep.
very happy with how it's come together.
And Matty Marshall downstairs in the production team putting on a very good show here. People have been giving him a lot of credit for the high definition that they're seeing on YouTube.
Yeah, deservedly so. Matty's awesome at his job.
Yep.
He's put it all together in quick time. I actually don't think the stream's had any interruption
Not
since
at all.
It's gone live. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
You're kind of expected every now and then it might drop out or you might have some technical issues, but it's been great. I was even watching it myself last night on the couch,
There you go.
keeping an eye on things.
You have to. You always have to. Anyway, the flop comes down a 4-3-6, all rainbow. Queen of Hearts on the turn, bringing in the Badoogie on the board. Charlie raced 60k pre-flop with the ace-8 offsuit. Edwin decided to defend from the big blind with the jack-10. Flop went check-check. Turn's now gone check from Eddie from the big blind. Round to Charlie, he's going to check back. And he brings in the river of the 5 of hearts. Check mark goes next to Charlie's name. Is Eddie going to try and steal this one away? The 4-liner has come in now. A deuce or a 7 does give the straight, using the 4 cards on the board, the 3, 4, 5, and 6 for that matter. Now, Eddie likes to have a stab here in these pots. He doesn't like to give up many pots, and here it is. He's going to bet out 200k. Absolutely on cue. And can Charlie Heaton, who has been battling Eddie quite a bit already, can he find a call with ace high here? It would be an amazing call if he does. Or is he going to put this one into the muck?
Charlie's actually won a main of ours before.
Really?
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Probably about 2 years ago, about when we were upstairs in Mahogany. Charlie took it down. I think he won about 50 odd or 55k.
Beautiful.
So Charlie's got some good vibes in this room.
Seems like a very lovely guy. I've been told he's from the UK.
Yeah, probably.
He's
Yeah.
got that thick Jamie Hall accent. As I
Actually,
like to call
looking
it.
at this table, Gavin Ogilvie was second in the Sydney Millions main end of last year. I think he won about 120k.
All right.
Pete in seat 1, I believe, is our most regular customer at King's Room St George Leagues Club. So we absolutely love Pete. He's a pleasure to have around. Absolute gentleman.
Star-studded lineup, according to Natan.
Yep.
It's a good little insight from Natan. He knows all of these players, I'd imagine, quite intimately, because he does run the ship here in conjunction with Mark Liddell. As we get back to the action here, it's going to be folded all the way around to Eddie in the small blind, who finds the 8-4 of clubs.
What do we have in the way of bounties remaining?
I believe the 10K.
10k is definitely gone.
Five-
Pranav got
five's
10.
gone.
Five's
Yep.
gone, yeah.
I think there's a 2.5K out there,
Okay.
but I don't know the other bounties that are available.
Yeah.
Because I didn't write them myself. Was that your job?
I did. I wrote them myself.
There you go. So Natan, who wrote the bounties, what else is out there? Is there like a 3K or 2K or?
The 5k went early. That was the first one to pop. 10k went just before we broke down to 2 tables.
Correct.
I do think there's probably a couple. There's probably 1, 2.5, and maybe a few 15s and 1s left. I'm not too sure what's popped since I've been running the main.
Yep.
But yeah, we still got 10k cash up top in the actual prize pool. So
Yeah, there
lots
was
still to play for.
Yeah, there's a bit of a question about that from earlier. One of the people who have joined us in the chat was talking about. See if I can find it. Actually, it was in there somewhere. Talking about, is there a disadvantage waiting and playing out the tournament to the final table here? I think that player might have, or that person might have assumed that the only thing you can win are the bounties, but obviously there's a prize pool,
Yep.
the event, which does scroll at the bottom of your screen in that little event ribbon. So they're playing for not only money in this event, just like every regular tournament in poker, but they're also playing for additional money in the form of bounties.
Yeah, so obviously there's a couple ways that you can chop up the mystery bounty prize pool. Different operators have different percentages of what goes into the bounty as opposed to what goes into the regular prize pool. We like to do it roughly half-half, where we have top 20% become bounties.
Yep.
And then top 10% become, they're part of the actual prize pool. So yeah, you can chop that up. You can make top 15% bounties and then therefore your bounties end up being bigger. So yeah, it's a bit of a compromise between how big the bounties become as opposed to how many people win bounties.
There you hear it from the ton. And have a look at this for a flop for
There's
Gavin.
a
He's
lot
flopped the
going on
absolute
there.
joint. So Gavin flopping the stone cold nuts with the Jack 9 suited. For those back row players, that's the natural 9 flopping the joint there on the 7, 8, 10 board. Complete rainbow. Peter Panagidis has the 2 overcards and backdoor diamonds working for him. And Eddie, believe it or not, has a gut shot to make the straight that Gavin's already got. So we do have a bit of action here. Gavin's going to check from the big blind. Peter's going to check from the hijack. And the action's going to go round to Eddie, who's got the worst of it so far. Is he going to find a bet? And of course,
like,
on cue, he will.
We're going to be 3 ways to the turn, I reckon.
I think that's a great call by you. And the chips, by the way, are outstanding. They pop on this backdrop of the table.
Yeah, yeah.
They look really good.
This was actually the original chip set of King's Room St. George Leagues Club.
There you have
Yeah,
it.
we've
So
got-
bringing
we've
back
probably
some OG stuff.
Yeah, we've probably got about 8 chip sets now, but this was the original.
Well played, Natan. I like that. So Eddie's going to bet out 150.
Oh, there you go.
Gavin's
I was
going
wrong.
to make a snap call, obviously, with the nuts. And the turn now brings in the ace of clubs. So Eddie could take this one away, believe it or not, from Gavin if the unfortunate queen peels off at the river. They would chop it up if the 9 comes out. So as you can see, Edwin's outs the top right-hand corner of your screen. The queen will give him the nut straight, and the 9, he would be chopping it up with the same straight. 7 through to Jack. So what Gavin decides to do is the perfect turn card for his hand does peel off on the turn, the ace of clubs. He's going to bet 210k, hoping that Eddie has picked up that ace on the turn. Eddie deep in thought. Now he's won a huge amount of money. From my understanding, Natan, Edwin?
Well, I believe Edwin's, he's a cash player.
Yep.
He's been playing a lot of tournaments as
Sure.
of late, but I believe, yeah, he probably considers himself to be a cash specialist. He won an APT main actually at Bella Vista.
He did.
Yes, so that was for about 150
Yep.
from memory. So he's obviously very handy on both sides of the game. And he has this aggression that you just wouldn't expect from the way that he's such a friendly guy. And
Have a look at the aggression. On cue, he's going to jam it all in for 1.6 million, and Gavin's going to snap it off with the nuts instantaneously. So a huge pot here, 1.9 million. Edwin getting his hand caught in the cookie jar. Needs to find a queen to make the nut straight or a 9 to chop it up. Here comes the river. Brings in the 4 of diamonds. Sorry to cut you off there, Natan.
it's fair enough.
4 of diamonds comes in, and you can see Gavin must be very happy now, up to 1.9 million, taking a huge pot away from Edwin, who's now below $1 million in chips, down to 955k in chips, 24 bigs. So he's gone from a pretty healthy chip leader in this event down to 24 bigs, just shy of $1 million. As you can see, Gavin up to 47 bigs, 1.86 mil, after flopping the absolute nuts and continuing to have it on the turn. And Eddie got his hand caught in the cookie jar there with King Jack. Decides to make a play. Gavin could not have got those chips in any faster. And that's all she wrote in that particular hand. Sorry about that, Natan.
That's fine. I just had a look at how many big blinds still in play. This one might go late. There's 300 odd big blinds.
Is
That's
there?
correct. 50, 100, 40, or maybe 200. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that was wishful thinking.
Yeah. So what do you got? 86, 100. Yeah, 180 bigs, give or take. Something like that. I don't think we're going to get past 1 a.m. though, in my opinion, Natan.
Probably not.
But, you know, we were here until 4 a.m. last night and couldn't get the mini main done by then. We actually
That mini main's never not finished. So that was the first as well.
can't make it up, but
No.
I was here commentating it all the way through till 4.
Did you have viewers by 4? I was fast
We
asleep,
had
I got to be
61.
honest. 61 viewers till
At
4.
4 a.m..
Unbelievable.
And we had 2 viewers that were from New Zealand watching us,
Wow.
and there's like a 3-hour time difference.
Wow.
So they were going to bed super late.
Well, there you go.
One of them being in the chat earlier today.
I took advantage of my early night.
Yeah. Good idea. You had to too. It was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
There you go. So we get back to the action here. Raised in the hijack by Troy Sweet, one of the ambassadors. Maybe you can talk about that in a little bit with the ace-9 offsuit. Gavin in the small blind finds the ace-queen offsuit and decides to put in the 3-bet, and Troy's going to put that straight into the muck. Now, talking about Troy Sweet and his brother Jack, Troy was in here last night doing a little bit of commentary. If you wouldn't mind talking through what sort of, made you guys decide to put the patch on him.
So the way it started with the Sweet Boys was they were living on campus at UNSW. They were studying at the time, and they just started playing casual games at some of our smaller games, Churchill's, Doncaster. They really started at the bottom. They were playing $20, $30, $40 games. They were lovely boys. They always came with a great attitude, and we kind of learned more about them, and from Illawarra area, and they're just super passionate about the game. They're both incredibly intelligent guys. They both study mathematics, so the game just really suits their mind, how it works, and just watching their meteoric rise over such a short period of time. It's just incredible the amount of hands that they're able to have played, and their experience has just exploded, and they seem so comfortable at the boys were playing 5Ks, and they probably played the Aussie Millions main just gone. So
Sure.
they've gone from $30 games to 10K buy-ins within a 3-year period or 4-year period. It's incredible.
And you wanted to obviously back that and
Yeah,
support that kind of
I feel like
approach?
they've got a really balanced view on the game, and their behavior is always immaculate. You never see them upset. They're always courteous, and they're just a pleasure on and off the felt. And that's they're the kind of people that you'd love to have represent your brand.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. Troy seemed to be a very lovely guy. First time meeting him last night alongside Adam Burke here in the commentary. Let's get a little bit loud back here. I think there's a bit of action going on behind us in the commentary booth. It's coming through the headphones, but nonetheless, we'll get back to the action here. So there was a raise to 80K by Troy, who did pick up the pocket 10s. Gavin's decided to call from the button.
This board is just getting worse for Gav, as I'm sure he thinks he's got the best of it.
Great call. Troy decided to check and not c-bet. And Gavin decided to bet the 75K. Troy found the call. Troy is going to check out of position with the best hand at the moment, pocket 10s on a 7-high board. And unfortunately for Gavin, he has flopped top pair with the top kicker. But as you can see in the top right-hand corner of your screen, the 7 of hearts, 7 of clubs, and the ace of clubs have been burnt already. So Gavin needs to find the 2 remaining aces to improve his hand and beat Troy Sweet's pocket 10s at this time. Or, of course, bet Troy off the hand. But I can't imagine Troy's going to go anywhere here.
I'm not sure
with
what
the
kind
other
of
pet on
river
the board.
has to come for Troy to be able to fold this hand.
Agreed. Especially if it comes a card less than a 10. It's probably only one card that could do some damage, which would probably be like the 5, completing like...
Yeah, I'd still expect Troy to just probably check
Yeah.
Paul River.
Yeah. Or a spade. I mean, obviously there could be, a spade in here at the river that would also shut him down, I'd imagine, Troy, as Jack Sweet actually jumps into the comments there for you, Natan, saying
there you
appreciate
go,
the kind
Jack.
words. So
We actually met a third of them. Another Sweet, Adam Sweet, the younger brother. He's just turned of age, and he's been in during the series as well.
And have a look at this river card. Talking about a card, the 3 of spades completing the 4-liner to the straight with any 5, but also bringing in the spades draw. So that's going to most likely shut down the action. It does check at the river. What a horrific card, obviously, for Troy there.
Probably a good card for Gavin to get away with.
That's what I'm saying.
Minimal punishment.
Yeah, 100%. As Jim's coming in saying the commentator.
There you go, Jimbo. He's been asking us for a stream. I don't know for how long, Coach.
Beautiful. Love
Here's
it.
the stream for you. I'm glad you're watching it.
Oh, it's too good. Natan, the commentator.
Coach is part of the Coogee Boy crew that are regulars amongst the King scene.
Yep. That's too good.
They bring a high energy vibe to any room that they enter.
You got to love that. Well played, Jim. Very good. Got a good laugh out of me there as we get back to the action here. 6-handed action. Live on a 20-minute delay across Facebook Live and on YouTube. This is the King's Premium Poker Room
At Coogara. At Coogara.
at the St. George Leagues Club. 124 Princess Highway, Cogra.
Well done.
The Mystery Bounty Day 2. It's a $600 buy-in. $250 of that buy-in goes towards the Mystery Bounties that have been handwritten by the guy sitting next to me. One of the owners of the King's Premium Poker Room Group, Natan. And they got 147 entries into this event, creating a prize pool of $75,705, with the top prize being $10K.
This was actually the first time we've had a flighted mystery bounty. Usually it's just been a single day event.
Sure.
This one we had 2 flights with the day 2. It was a bit sweaty with the guarantee, actually. We just about made it. Last few entries last night got us over the line.
Okay.
So that's always nice. You've always got to sweat a guarantee every now and then just to keep you alive.
Yeah. Definitely part of the game.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why, but just getting the guarantee.
It's satisfying.
I don't know why, because it's like, have I perfected the schedule perfect to like a 75K guarantee and binking it, it's always good when you just get over the line sometimes. It's kind of that unknown. Are we going to get there? Are we not going to get there? And you're teeting it. It's a bit of excitement.
It's always more exciting to lose than to win. That's the gambler's mentality, right?
That's kind of true. As you see, Tim, straight from the GQ magazine, Venari, under the gun, finds the ace-10 offsuit. He's going to jam it all in for $495K. The blinds here are 20K, 40K with a 40K big blind ante. This is hand number 30 of this Mystery Bounty Day 2. So Tim's going to whack this all in for 12 bigs approximately with the ace-10, and Eddie can't find the RFID reader. So he's got 2 black cards.
Well, we can guess what he has.
We can.
Let's see what he does.
Jack Sweet asking what bounties are left. Jackie, I can tell you that there's a 2.5K, and then there's probably a myriad of 1500s or
I'd
1Ks.
say so. I'd love for Dennis to actually let us know. Let me just message Dennis, and he's going to tell us.
I think. Do you know how many actual envelopes are left in the barrel? Like,
Well, I can
7 or 8 or
see. I can
something?
see Troy's got a couple chips on him,
yeah.
so he's
Eddie's
probably
got 3.
He's probably not gotten all of them. Let me just double check what we've got.
Lachlan's loving you being in the booth here. Keep Natan in the booth. Does help when you've got the owner
How are you, Lockie?
of King's Premium Poker Room.
Lockie's
in the booth.
another of the
Everybody loves
young
it.
guns. He started off just playing small games, and he's recently won a big tournament at the Star for 22,000.
Oh yeah, hello.
Yeah, it's always good that it's all about grassroots poker. We'd love to have the whole spectrum of players, everyone from free rolls to 2s and 3Ks, and that's what it's all about.
I might actually go a bit in depth actually with you about how King started and where you started, and I've never actually heard the story, Natan, so I'd love to hear it whilst we're seeing a bit of dull action here on the feature and final table of this Mystery Bounty Day 2. So, Natan, if you don't mind, give us a little bit of a recap of what's happened over since you started King's, Premium Poker Room.
So we started Kings in 2011. Actually, poker was just a part-time job. I was at uni. I got a TD job at my local when I was 18 years old. I was very passionate about the game back then, and I still am, but in a different capacity. I was obviously very passionate about playing. And it kind of just went from there. It was a great part-time job whilst I was at uni.
Right. Okay.
An opportunity came about to start Kings, and that was back in 2011.
Okay.
And obviously at the time, poker in Sydney and in Australia in general was, the landscape was very different. We've seen it evolve to what it is now, to kind of the. I mean, I would have never imagined that this is where we're at. Running $1.52 million series. So
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's really developed. It's actually a bit of an interesting spot here. We'll see, the two ace tens.
So Peter finds
each
the
other.
ace 10 offsuit and the hijack. Just might call the action as you handle some business stuff on the phone with the ace 10 off. And Eddie has decided to call with ace 10 off 2, different suits, obviously, from the button. The board does come down king 9-3, complete rainbow. So it's a battle of the ace 10s. Who can outplay whom? Let's see if Peter can take this one away from Eddie. As you can see, the equities are both 50% at the moment, for obvious reasons, especially on this particular board. No chances of either player making a flush. Peter's going to bet out 130K.
See how aggressive Ed really is.
Good call.
It's like no, never say no attitude, right? I can win any pot.
He can, and I've seen him do some amazing plays. He did get his hand caught in the cookie jar earlier to Gavin, but the other plays he's made have been actually quite impressive. So don't count him out as the 9 of spades peels off on the turn.
I think if Pete checks this, the hand's over.
I
Like,
would
he's
agree with
telling
you.
the story.
Pete's going to continue with this narrative, it appears, and he might go for a second barrel here on the turn. First to act from the hijack position.
First to put chips in the pot wins.
Agreed. Kind of hoping he doesn't shut down, and he does shut down with a check, which opens the door for Eddie to make a bluff at this card, which will most likely get it done. And this is why position in this game is so important, because of situations very similar to this, where it's a lot harder to, it's like you said before, bet.
Oh, check back. That's a surprise.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And then have a look at this card at the river. Oh, there you go.
Split the pot, boys.
No, that's why position is so important. If Peter does check down there out of position, Eddie can have a free stab at it, and hopefully put some pressure back on Peter.
Well, Pete's got showdown value now, so I'm assuming he was just check call.
Yeah, I was talking more about the turn when the 9 of spades comes
yeah.
out. When Peter checks,
Surprised
That's why
that
position is so
Eddie
important.
didn't bet the turn.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watching him whilst I was looking at you and kind of calling the action. Got a little bit confused in my own head about what I wanted to say, but I think the people at home understood what I meant. Position is so important because when Peter checks down on the turn, then Eddie can have a free stab at trying to take down the pot.
So confirmation, there is still a 1.5k bounty
There we go.
and a 1k bounty, as well as a few of the minor ones left. So has he gone all? Yeah, he's gone all in. So he'll put Pete in the tank here. It's not a snap.
570.
How do you like this play from Eddie?
I mean, it's maximum pressure, so he's
Yeah.
going to force Pete to make a good call.
They are both playing the king on the board as their kicker. It'll be aces and nines using the king. Hence the reason why the S is next to their name, indicating a split pot. But Peter still needs to make the call to chop it up.
I mean, if Ed had a 9, he probably would have played this hand exactly the same way. See, bet on the flop, check the turn
Check.
when the 9 comes,
Correct.
and then,
Find the perfect card at the river too to put this
Correct.
type of bet in.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he was probably thinking when he jammed it all in for 645k. And a spot on there, Natan. But can Peter find the guts to find a call and chop up this pot?
he's just cutting out how much
Wow, have a look at him.
bad call would cost him.
I think he finds the call here.
He looks
Personally,
like it. He looks very, very tempted.
I think he makes the call. And he does.
There you go, good call.
So it's a great call from Peter. They're going to chop it up ace 10, ace 10. They both tap the table almost in unison there, giving each other respect for how they played the hand. Adam there is the dealer, you can see. He's an absolute gun too.
That's him.
Yeah.
Not Adam. That's him.
Yeah, I call him Adam. I know it's a Tim. I know it's ATYM.
ATYM. That's
Yeah.
him.
I like
Russians,
to call
one of the Russian-speaking crew.
Adim, yeah. Because when it's so funny when you go up to him and he goes, yeah, it's Adim. You know, he's got the kind of deep Russian voice.
Yeah.
And so I just call him Adam. Like atom bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he likes it. He goes, yeah, that's good. That'll work. But I do know it's a Tim. So he's actually going to be taking a short breather. And we'll be bringing in another expert dealer to this feature and final table of the Mystery Bounty Day 2. Like I have alluded to before, it's a $600 buy-in, prize pool of $75,705. First prize here is $10K. Second prize is going to pick up $6,025. Third is $4,200. And the remainder of the prizes are going to be scrolling across the bottom of your screen. We are down to the final 6 players out of 147 entries into this particular event. We do have Natan in the booth alongside myself, Josh Monk, aka Monkey. Calling the action tonight, my partner in crime, Adam Burke, needed to deal with a bit of a family issue today, so he's driven down to Canberra and might be back over the weekend to shoot a couple of bullets, maybe even into the main for you, Natan. And like usual, he'll bust before making the money and then probably jump into the com booth and maybe help me out.
Keep
in the
you a bit of
comments.
company.
Yeah, that's true. Peter Panayiotis right here, the Ace-10 offsuit. He just had it last end. I'm actually thinking he might have had these exact suits too. I might have to scroll back, but it's pretty close. It's going to pop it up and make it 80K to go under the gun.
What did Pete finish 5th in the players?
Yeah, in the players, something like that.
Yeah. It's another deep run for him.
He played
Great to
great.
see Pete. Honestly, such a gentleman.
He is. And actually, when I was recording the players before the start of this feature table, just to get some information about them, he goes, do you want me to do it again, or you're going to use what I gave you a couple of days ago? Oh, I'm happy
Did
to
he
do it
give you
again. He
anything
goes,
new?
I'm happy to do it again. He goes, hi, I'm Peter Panayiotis, and my
he's-
favorite hands, pocket tens.
He's going to find himself in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, it's actually quite good. He seems like a real gentleman of the game, which is what you want to see. But unfortunately for him here, Charlie Heaton has found Ace Jack in the big blind, and he's going to whack it for 530K. Peter's going to ask for a count. Can he get away from the Ace-10 here? Is really the question.
It might be small enough for Pete to be tempted to call. About a third of his stack. So
Yep. A little bit more than a third, about 40%, but still
tempting enough.
tempting. Yeah,
Still,
good call.
he's still got a life if he loses the hand.
It's a perfect time to do a little bit of a shout out to Link Tech Australia, who are the sponsor of this particular stream.
Yes, Ahmed Latif, another absolute gentleman of the game.
Is that Ahmed Latif, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
I
yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah,
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, there you have it. Right. Okay, well, I've been giving him a shout out probably every couple of hours on the stream, and I didn't actually know it was Ahmed behind it all.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Loves poker, and as soon as he spoke to us about the opportunity, and obviously we snapped him off, and we'd love to be associated with him and his company, and great to see his brand up alongside ours.
Outstanding. And like I alluded to earlier, this is a brand new setup. I'm talking brand new cameras, brand new TV, brand new microphones here in the commentary booth, brand new seats that the players are sitting on, brand new RFID table, and the computer and the setup in the background that Manny Marshall's working off is all brand spanking.
I had about 15 packages delivered to my home 2 weeks prior
Did
to
you
the
think?
series starting. My wife thought we're opening a post office at home.
Yeah, so the Tarn's place looking like a depot
Yeah.
of deliveries.
And then obviously once you start to unpack things in the room, things go missing. Oh, there's a big hand coming again.
Yeah, so Eddie's found the Ace Queen offsuit and the hijack, and don't worry about Ace Queen. How about a pocket Queens for Tim? He's going to just whack it straight in Eddie's face for 495K. Charlie's going to fold the Ace 5 of diamonds. So there's one of the aces burnt. And the action's going to get most likely round to Eddie, who
Can't
needs to
imagine
make a
Ned's gonna
decision.
fold here.
Yeah, but the action still is on Charlie with the Ace 5 of diamonds. I just can't see Charlie ever calling here,
No.
personally.
This is for the cameras.
Yeah. He's thinking about the pay jumps here. Look at this. He's looking up at the tournament clock.
No way.
The next player to bust in this event will be picking up 2100. There goes the ace-5 into the muck. Peter Panagiotis can't call with that unsuited connector of 7-6. Round to Eddie, who just flicks in the one card call. And he's going to see the bad news. Now, I'll be honest with you. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Eddie can find one of the 2 remaining aces in the deck. One of them was burnt because he does run so pure, it's unbelievable. The flop does come down. King 9, 8, 2 diamonds. So no help at all to Eddie. The turn card brings in the jack. Now he can hit an ace or a 10. River card brings in the 6 of spades. No help to Edwin, who's now down to 10 bigs as Tim, straight out of page 3 of the GQ magazine, Venari, is now up to 1.1 million.
Well, I suppose the dynamic in a bounty tournament's a little bit different because the bounty is worth money itself. So I guess that has to go into your calculations of whether or not to make the call or not.
Of course.
So he's got the implied odds of, choosing a bounty after potentially knocking a player out. He's not dominated by many hands. He just happened to be up against one of the ones that had him crushed.
Yeah, right. Now, you must be pretty happy, Natan, with just like the overall turnout and the support you get from St. George Leagues Club.
Absolutely.
Must be second to none. Has to be.
We're so lucky with the partnership that we have with St. George Leagues Club, and they're so supportive of what we try to do, and they give us prime real estate in the venue, and players obviously feel the difference because they're getting the prime real estate. We're first room to the right. As you walk into the venue, you're close to the bar, you're close to bistro, you're close to all the facilities. We're not stuck somewhere in the corner of the venue. With
Great
bad,
call.
Bad lighting and dodgy smells and stuff like that. It's we're front and center in the venue, and it allows us to put this kind of show on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what a massive show you have been putting on. And there are times actually where you have to take all the tables out, as obviously Edwin picks up the pocket kings here under the gun. He's going to jam it, get no action. But sometimes when they've got State of Origin on or rugby, you have to unpack all those tables, move them out, and then put them back in. And they give you that free landscape to be able to do whatever you want. And you set this room up beautifully. And it shows by the amount of attendances you're getting from the players and patrons that come into this building to want to sit down and play essentially yours and Natan's and a little bit of Rob Dorosky's kind of set up with the King's Premium poker room stuff.
Well, I heard you say the other day, everything that you see is supplied by Poker Shop and Rob, and it's true.
It's true.
He is our 100% supplier for everything, and he's another unbelievable partner to have in our corner. He does all the posters, all the graphics, everything that you see on our socials. That's Rob. So he has incredible input into what we do, how we present. He pushes our brand. He's very proud to be a partner, and he's obviously runs King's Poker up in Newcastle, and shares the same passion, and is aligned with our values. So,
and I will say this, a bit of a shout out to Rob DZ. He has got to be one of the nicest guys in the industry, just in life in general.
And I would
just
say
a gentleman.
One of the hardest working guys in the poker industry.
Oh yeah.
It's just his energy is unmatched.
I totally agree with that. As Troy Sweet from the small blind finds the King Queen suited in clubs, he's going to raise it up and make it 95k to go. Edwin finds the ace 9. And he's going to jam it for 470. And Troy Sweet says enough of this, and I'm going to call with the King Queen and try and bust you this time. So King Queen of clubs versus the ace 9. Can Eddie hold with the ace 9? And talk about this for a flop. A couple of clubs down there. So Troy's got the 2 overs and clubs. And how about a king on the turn? Needs to find an ace board river and a 3 of clubs for good measure.
You got to run like Sweet, right? It'd be nice to run like Sweet.
Must be nice. And there goes Eddie, who was going to look pretty good coming into this feature and final table to take out one of the top 3 spots, but busting in 6th, picking up 2100. He also has, I believe, 3 bounty chips to his name. So I'd imagine he's going to walk over and do the bounties, which you could probably see in the top right-hand corner of your screen with Patrick Russell out there doing a pretty good job of doing the bounties.
Troy's look like he's got a bunch of envelopes sitting there, and he looks like he's knocked out about 10 players. So
good call. He hasn't squeezed them up yet, has he?
No. So I think he's got a few that he's already collected, the ones that are sitting behind his stack, and then I think he's got at least 3 or 4 uncollected bounties.
Right, there you have it.
I suppose there's a strategy in itself of when you pick the bounty, at which point. Everyone's a little bit superstitious. Sometimes you take it straight away. Sometimes you wait for the break or waiting for someone to pick the min bounty, and then you think maybe it's lucky.
It's 9 days, 80,000. 80.
Charlie Heaton here with a nice King Jack suited in the hijack. We'll definitely get a call out of Troy.
Thanks, Joe.
Shake 3 on.
Maximum pressure here from Troy, who just ships it all in. He will apply maximum pressure onto Charlie.
And he does. Moving it all in with the Queen 10 offsuit. Can Charlie make the call? The King Jack of diamonds in the hijack.
I mean, now Troy's got, 70 bigs. You'd expect him to throw those chips around like lollipops.
I think Charlie does make a call here. I just feel
You
like,
get that, five-handed. Troy can do that with so many hands on the button.
of course. And he does make a
But
call.
he is behind against any ace. But he's found himself a good spot. I'm sure if he knew what the cards were, he would have snapped it off.
And all of a sudden, it's King Jack versus the Queen 10. Charlie all in at risk for 650k. Here comes the flop. It comes with a couple of diamonds and a gut shot to make it straight.
Both.
And a pair for Troy. Here comes the turn. Brings in the 8 of hearts. He needs to find a diamond, queen, or a jack,
gets
and he
it.
gets there. The 4 of diamonds does peel off on the river. And
Can I just say, these cutout shots from Jamie
are unbelievable, aren't they?
They look so good. I said to him when I came in today, we want more of it. As much as you can do. It feels like old school WSOP vibes from 10
Yeah,
years ago.
great call.
When they used to only do highlights, you didn't get the live stream. You just got highlights and you just got to see these types of images and, panning around the room. And, on our third feature table, it's just, look at this stuff. It's just unbelievable. Jamie's so talented.
He is great. And I'll tell you what, it's been a big hit with the people in the chat. I can tell you that much for free,
yeah.
Natan. They're loving the behind-the-scenes stuff, the kind of documentary, the old
Absolutely.
school, go out there and find out what's going on,
Yeah, it's
WSOP
wicked.
vibe. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And people are loving that.
It's a lot
And
of
so
fun. It
big
looks like
props
they're-
to Jamie.
I think they're drawing a couple bounties as we speak, so we'll try and listen out to what's happening. Not sure, they might be on a break actually.
Not sure what's happening at the moment, but we'll bring you that information shortly. Appears that the players might be on a short break. Actually, we're going to see bounty pool here.
I'm not sure whether or not this is live right now. Regardless, we're going to see a bounty pool. We're going to see how it's done.
1, 2, and that makes 3. First. 2. That's a 1. So it's 1k plus, 1 or 1.5. 15.
Very nice.
Good one.
Excellent. So many things to do with, mate.
Zeros first, I think. 2 zeros. 15 again. 2 and a half.
Oi, there it is. That's another 4K, is that? Excellent. 15 and 2.5. There we go. Big thing.
And there you have it. Troy just actually binking the
Check his pockets. I think he has a second phone.
Sorry for the delay, guys. I was stuck on the wall. We are 25, 50, 50. And you are good to shuffle off the deal.
What do you guys think if we chop? I'll take 9K and you split the rest.
I like it.
Too funny. So Natan has
I'll keep my
You'd be taking
I got a
Elected
total
to-
of 0 people asking to keep me on, so I've decided to stay on.
too good. So we are
You
back
guys
here
convinced me.
to see the conclusion of this mystery bounty day 2 from the St George Leagues Club in
Cogra.
Cogra. I did point to Natan with that one to bring you the conclusion of this event, brought to you by King's Premium Poker Room in conjunction with Link Tech Australia.
Yeah, a couple of people.
It's a $600 buy-in, prize pool of $75,705, top prize of $10K. As we get back to 5-handed action out of 147 entries into this event. These are the final 5 playing out for all the money remaining in the prize pool, plus the bounties. And we just saw before that break, Troy actually binking 4,500 in bounties just before. You've got the 2.5K, the 1,500, and a little $500 in there for you. Natan, you must be pretty happy with that.
I'm sure Troy's very happy with that.
Not long ago,
Yeah, good point. It's also quite good when you're one of the ambassadors actually binks some nice little healthy bounties as well, as Gavin here finds a flush draw on the flop with Queen High and 2 overs. Peter Panayides did make the raise from the hijack to 100K. The blinds have gone up to 25K, 50K with a 50K big blind ante. So there was a raise from the hijack with the King Queen, and Gavin's decided to defend from the big blind with the Queen 10 of spades. Flop came down deuce 3-4, 2 spades. So Gavin did pick up the 2 overs and a flush draw. Obviously the Queen's no good because Peter does have him outkicked. He's going to bet the turn and take this one away from Peter Pan. Matty Marshall coming in on the chat. He's the guy downstairs in the production area, bringing you the footage that you can see on stream or on your device at home, saying DZ, meaning Robbie DZ is a machine. And I couldn't agree with you more. Matty Marshall. Now, Matty, I think it might be a good idea for us to have a little bit of an overs-unders. I might do it with Natan as well on what time we think this event might finish. So it's 6 past 11 p.m. local.
Yeah, I reckon 1 o'clock. Lines at 1 o'clock, I reckon.
I like where you're at. I'm going to take the unders.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think Troy Sweet is going to put on a clinic and maybe get this done before 12:30. So I'm going to take a pretty interesting line there as Peter Panayides folds the Jack 8 off. There's a 5-4 fold from Troy Sweet.
Well, I know for a fact that Gavin Ogilvie will not do a deal. He didn't do a deal in the Sydney Millions main.
Right.
An extra 50,000 pay jump, so he's not going to do it tonight.
He's a purist, is he?
He's a purist.
You got to love that.
He'll play it out.
So Tim Veneri here, or Venari, I should say, finds the pocket queens on the button. And he's going to elect to pop it up. It looks like he's going to make it 110K to go. And Gavin, I don't make any deals. Ogilvie has 10-7 of clubs. Any relationship to the golfer?
I don't think so. Besides
To
having
Jeff?
the same name?
Fair,
I don't think so.
fair enough. He is looking to make a call from the small blind for 85K with Daniel Negreanu's favourite hand, the 10-7.
It's the tempting kind of hand to just want to see a flop with.
Fair enough.
Oh, he's gonna get
put-
some bad news when this gets folded around.
Puts the 3-bet into 375K, and Charlie is actually holding a couple of those clubs in the big blind. Does elect to fold the 8-deuce off, so action back round to Tim, who I'd imagine is going to jam this straight back in his face.
This will be
for
over pre-flop.
Yeah, for 18 bigs or 875K with the pocket queens. He's actually had this dream spot a couple of times. He had the pocket queens versus the ace queen of Eddie earlier, where somebody made a play against him and then found the queens and jammed it back and got it through. And it looks like he might be in a very similar situation here where he's going to double check his cards, not just this one time, but he'll probably do it one more time before he puts it all in. No, there it is, all in. There goes the rest of his chip stack. So all in for 985K. And Gavin's going to have no other choice but to fold the 10-7 of clubs from the small blind. Did put in that 3-bet to 375, but obviously cannot continue facing an all-in jam by Tim there, I should say. Tim just adding an extra 475K in chips to his stack, up to 1.5 million or 29 bigs, Natan. Now, how was the draw, Mahar? I saw
We
you
had
got like
50.
You got 50 in the
50 entries.
end. What the hell?
Yeah.
Last time I looked, it was 37 entries, and there was like 25 minutes worth of late registration. So you got 50 into it.
50. We had 37 in the horse yesterday, 50 in the Dromahar.
Right. Okay.
We've got the PLO high roller tomorrow. We've got Big O's. Big O always just goes nuts. Big O is good for like 80 entries. Yeah,
Right,
everyone, you know what? It's like it seems to be everyone's favorite Omaha variant.
Yeah.
It's like they love it.
Yeah.
It's just a combination of everything that they like. And it's funny because before people used to play PLO because I got sick of 2 cards. Now they're like I'm sick of 4 cards. I want 5 cards. You know, give me more cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a PLO 6 in here probably within the next couple of years.
We've done a 4-5-6 rotation before.
4-5-6, there you go. For the absolute degens of degens, as you can see, Gavin's going to raise this up on the button to 100k with the King 9, or the K9, also known as the dog hand, to 100k. Charlie's going to call from the small blind with the A6 suited in clubs, and Peter's going to tag along from the big blind with the Queen 8 offsuit. The board does come down Ace, Deuce, Jack, complete rainbow. Charlie's going to take the lead, but check his option from the small blind. Round to Peter. He's flopped nothing much more than a hope and a dream. There's a couple of running cards to make it straight, or a couple of queens, a couple of eights would also help, or Queen 8 for that matter. And Gavin, who was the pre-flop aggressor, it's been checked around to him, so he's going to continue his story and bet out 125k. The white chips here worth 100k, greys are worth 25, oranges are worth 5k. We did have 1Ks in there earlier, which were the yellows. And you might see a couple of blue chips, but those blue chips have no tournament value. They are the bounty chip. So forget about them. And Charlie's going to call, obviously, with his A6 of clubs, flopping top pair on this flop of Ace, Deuce, Jack. The Jack of Hearts repeats on the turn. So a repeat Jack on the turn. Charlie miles out in front. Actually, as a matter of fact, check mark next to his name. He cannot lose this hand outside of being bluffed off it. Have a look at this for a river card. King of Hearts at the river.
It's a good card for Charlie. He's not really scared of any aces anymore.
Of course, but it's a disaster card for Gavin, who could actually bet this king at the river. But let's see if he can just check it back. And he's got a bit of showdown value.
Yeah, it'd be a strange bet. It's either super thin value bet or it's just a bluff, right? So
yeah, he has hit the gin card. And he's hiding. He does check it back. He's going to see the bad news. Charlie's going to turn over the A6 of clubs, which is good enough to win the pot with aces and jacks, using the king as the kicker. And Gavin just puts his hand into the muck. Have a look at how Gavin just like sits at the poker table.
He's very upright.
Isn't
Great
he?
posture.
Well, how's the posture on the bloke?
Yeah.
I'm sitting down here,
slouched,
low riding, deep into the chair. And this guy's got the straightest of straight backs. So there you have it. Tell you what, the posture, the overall posture of poker players would have to be the nut low in terms of any athlete, I guess you could call them, competing in any sport or game of the mind. They're all hunched over, getting massages.
Many hours in the chair.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're happy for it. You know, it's a great card.
Think about this. Back then, there used to be also some online poker, so they were slouching in the chair at home and then live again. As Charlie finds the ace king on the button offsuit, that's worthy of a raise, which he does to 125k. Peter's found the worst hand in No Limit Hold'em, the 7 deuce off, and Troy's found the 8-6 offsuit, the big blind.
Is there any hand that Troy won't defend the big blind with?
Probably 7-2.
That's it?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
where he draws the line?
I think it's like it's like bottom 3% or something if you're an expert poker player. If you have a look at the hand chart, I think it's like bottom 3%. You don't defend whatever to certain raises, but it's also player specific as well. And he does defend with the 8-6, and the flop comes down ace, queen, jack. Absolutely no help whatsoever to Troy. Needs to find a miracle on the turn the river if he does decide to continue going with his hand, as Charlie has flopped top pair, top kicker, and a gut shot to make the straight. It's a question coming in from Kylie saying, what time does he finish? I believe it's probably what time does this finish. We've anticipated somewhere in the vicinity of 12 or midnight to 1 a.m, but you never know.
full experience.
Ah, dearie me. There's the Colossus main event
Main
C.
event. Yeah.
So they got 157 entries. Holy moly, the ton. On a Friday night.
Yeah, so what are we up to now? I think we had 91 on the first flight. I reckon we had about 146 yesterday plus 157.
Gee whiz. So huge amount of entries coming in here to the St. George Leagues Club to
About
play.
400 entries so far. So we've had 260k in the prize pool.
Yep.
We'll hit the guarantee early in tomorrow's
Oh, I was right on
Arvo
cue.
flight.
Yep. That's what I did say. That's what I did say actually on stream about an hour and a half ago. I was anticipating probably a few hours into tomorrow's flight. You'll get the 300k, and then
Less
it
than
will
a few
go.
hours. Probably within the first hour we'll get to the guarantee, and then the rest of the day is just see how high we can go.
There we go.
And then day 2 entry, they're coming in with 30 bigs.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the structure, I mean, for the 750, you can't beat it. It could easily be a 3K structure. It's pretty good. 40K, 40-minute blinds, 50K starting stack. Last level of the day is 1-2, and it's a repeat 1-2 level. So if anyone's on the fence about playing the main, there's some pictures of the main.
Yeah, right
In the
there.
outside room.
This footage courtesy of Jamie Hall walking around with the camera. This is the main. Geez, have a look at that. That looks beautiful on the screen. Thank you very much to Jamie for providing this footage. Can't get any better, and I really like the way that he does it. Have a look at that there. 157 entries, 93 remain. Average BBs in play is 84 as we get back to the main feature and final table of this $600 mystery bounty day 2. Peter Panagidis, I should say, has the King 10 of spades in the cutoff, decides to raise it up to 100k. Tim's going to fold the Jack Deuce of hearts. And Gavin's also found a suited hand as well with the Queen 9 of diamonds in the big blind, so he's going to elect to defend. So it's going to be Queen 9 versus the King 10. The flop come down Jack Deuce 7 with the Jack Deuce of clubs and the 7 of hearts, so no real help to either player here. Gavin's going to check his option.
Couldn't have missed either hand.
Yeah.
Any more.
Gavin's going to check his option from the big blind, so back down to Peter, who's going to continue his story and lead out on this flop with a C bet.
It's funny because I actually don't know of all the players that play my games. I don't know how anyone plays. Like I might see them in the rego desk or I might see them on the floor, but I very rarely deal anymore. And obviously I don't do much with the stream, so I've got no idea. People ask me who's good. I know who wins. I know who has good results, but I wouldn't have a clue. I love all my players equally. I'm non-biased.
Yeah, you print out tickets and
that's it.
And hand out money.
Exactly.
That's the way what a guy. Seems like a good network to have. Printing out tickets and handing out money. You're listening to myself, Josh Monk, aka Monkey, alongside Natan, one of the owners here at the King's Premium Poker Room, putting on an absolute clinic down here. This place is flooded with patrons, not only attending to all the services down here at the St. George Leagues Club, but also participating in the schedule that you and Mark and... Is it just you and Mark who write the schedules? Or
The schedule is actually a lot of me and Rob.
Right, okay, there you go.
Mark is quite high level. When when we're pretty happy with what we've got, then we'll kind of present to Mark and
Sure.
He'll give us his opinion, but he trusts what we're putting together, and we always try to evolve the schedule. We want to, improve it every single time.
Sure.
We pretty much every time we're adding events or making slight tweaks with, things that, for example, this event, again, it's a flighted event, never has been before. Some of the mixed games, Dromaha's never been around before.
Mm-hmm.
The mixed games have gone really well.
Yeah, they have.
Just generally in Australia, they're picking up. Shannon in Melbourne, he's the
GOAT, the prince
he's
of
the number one.
The Prince. As Tim finds the Ace King, sorry to cut you off here, he's going to jam it all in for 1.3 mil after Peter raised under the gun with the pocket threes. Peter, I can't imagine, is going to call with that quite weak pair of pocket threes, and he does elect to put it in the bin. I do apologise, Natan. Just wanted to call the action there.
Shannon a shout out. He's really driving mixed games, and he's so passionate about mixed games, and no one knows mixed games better than Shannon. And
the Prince of Poker himself, Shannon
absolutely,
Vanderberg.
Yeah, so we tried to get him actually here for the series. Didn't work out this time, but yeah, I'm sure we'll have Shannon back
Yeah.
at St. George Leagues at some point
I think
soon.
you have to. He's
Yeah.
part of the Mixed Games Academy, MGA stuff. I do some work with Shannon occasionally, and I think he's just one of the best in the industry, if not the best, when it comes to putting on a mixed game
Mixed game
schedule.
is the best. It's not even
Number
close.
one. It's not
Yeah.
even close. There you go.
Not even close.
As Kiwi Bird Special. She was one of the listeners from last night who stuck by us all the way through
Unbelievable.
until like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And she lives in New Zealand. So it would have been about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning by the time she clocked off. So, and actually, as a matter of fact, I believe won some merchandise.
I
we
contacted her today, actually.
There you go.
Asked
Straight
her
from the
for a
tarn.
size, Yeah.
So
So
there-
we've got to organise that to be shipped out.
Perfect. Hopefully not too much of a cost. If so, just send me the bill.
We'll wear it.
Good boy. As Troy Sweet at the top of the chip chart there does have 41 bigs, 2 million plus in his chip stack. Closely followed by Charlie and Tim, who are just a little bit behind him. Charlie's got 1.855 million or 37 bigs, and Tim's got 1.685 for 34. So it's still anybody's game. For those people just tuning in, this is the Mystery Bounty Day 2. It's a $600 buy-in. Prize pool of $75,705. From 147 entries, the final 5 players are playing now for the prize money, plus any bounties they can collect that are still remaining. As Peter Pan right here in the small blind finds the ace deuce suited Natan. And this is worthy of a raise, I'd imagine.
He must love having Troy on his left.
Yeah, good call. Peter's a very good poker player, but does have Troy, who is the big stack to the left, who likes to play quite a wide range of cards, especially now that he's got a massive stack. Here's the chip leader here and decides to call the 60K in the big blind with the 8-5 offsuit and defend. And the flop comes down a couple of queens and a 9. Troy's going to need a lot of help here as Peter decides to check from the small blind. I'm not sure why Peter would check there. I'd probably lead this flop personally, but that's okay. He's going to check and allow Troy to have a stab at it. And that's exactly what Troy's going to do.
That's 60.
I think it was first to get into the pot will win. Let's see how Peter decides to play this. I'd love to see him raise, but I'd imagine he's probably going to fold against the ambassador for kings. But he hasn't folded quite yet, Natan.
Okay, good call.
Yeah, love this from Peter. Finds the call with the ace high. Doesn't believe Troy for half a second. Flicks in the call, and now a club on the turn. So,
Great turn for him. At least he's got something to call with now.
yeah, correct. He's going to check from the small blind and allow Troy to go one more at it. Troy does pick up a gut shot to make a straight. Can also win the hand with a 5 or an 8, and now a 6 to make that straight. Obviously, it has to be a non-club. Hence the reason for why there's 6 outs at the top of the screen. Peter would make the nut flush if a club did come off. And Troy's going to go for it with
He's
another barrel.
Absolutely relentless.
225K here, Natan, putting the full pressure onto Peter Pan.
You'd love to see a raise here from Pete. That would be
Oh, how good would that
a
be?
big boss play.
Yeah, wouldn't it? And Pete doesn't believe him, and he has picked up some equity on the turn, so I kind of love this from Peter. He's counting down some chips, and it looks like he's either going to call or jam this. And so if he does jam this, he will get it through for sure, and it would be a big play from Peter Pan. Don't mind him calling that as a nickname. He kind of likes it.
Absolutely. If you can find an all in here, that's just a great move.
Me too. I'd love to see it. Peter's trying to figure out combinatorically how often the big blind here would have a queen, 9 or 7 in their range. And if it was in their range, how come they didn't raise with it pre, unless it's a very weak holding like a queen deuce or something like this. So he's trying to figure out.
He's probably putting Troy on a 9 at best. And I suppose
There's only like, a few combos of that 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's even less of any queen combo. So he's probably figuring out that ace high is most likely going to be good, hence the reason for why he called on the flop.
and if he's wrong, he's at least got outs,
Yep.
clubs and an ace. Surely
Correct.
are good.
And he does make the call. Well done from Peter, regardless of what happens at the river here. And off to the river we go. And the red card brings in the 10 of spades. So no help to Troy and no help to Peter. And let's see what Peter decides to do. I'd love to see him just rip this into Troy's face. No offense to Troy, obviously, but he has made the correct call on the flop and the turn. And I kind of want to see it rewarded by him making a play here at the river.
I'm very curious to see if Troy is going to go again.
Does check, which does open the door for Troy to go for another barrel at the river. Troy's going to see if he can navigate this one.
I highly doubt that Troy is putting Pete on ace high. He's assuming that he's got a pair.
Correct. And he's trying to figure out whether or not he can bet him off that pair. And that's the main reason for why he's in the tank here a little bit. Can he rep a hand and get Pete to fold? Or is Pete trapping him? So a few thoughts going through his head. He's an expert poker player like you were alluding to before. And here comes the bet.
It's just a good play.
It's just an amazing bet. It looks like he's going to jam it all in, and Peter just gets out the way.
And he got max value out of it as well. He got, his barrels were called, and yeah, just well done, Troy.
So a bit of a shout out to Kiwi Bird Special, but she can't stay a little bit longer. She's so tired. She'll be back later, hopefully. Thank you very much. The time will be sending you that hoodie that you won on yesterday's stream. As we get back to the action here, Natan in the booth alongside myself.
Pete's not going to enjoy watching that one later.
No, Pete's going to be probably looking at that at the next break thinking, God damn it, he got me. As Gavin under the gun finds the ace-queen suited in diamonds. So a couple of premium holdings being actually dealt out here by the dealer. I have to admit, I really like that honeycomb look on the felt. I don't know if that was you or Robbie DZ.
That's
or
definitely Rob.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's a beautiful backdrop for the cards and the chips for that matter.
Well, it's not. It's also kind of differentiates between. Nothing's clashing on the. Sometimes you get a felt that looks great, but it clashes with cards and it clashes with the chips, and they get lost.
Yeah, a lot of tours out there have kind of like that black felt, but then obviously when you're playing the first levels of these events and you've got black chips in play, especially if you've got sort of dark purples in there as well, they kind of blend into the felt of the table. This one here puts a spotlight on the chips and the cards. So well played there by Robbie DZ, as Gavin's going to raise up to 100K with ace-queen under the gun suited in diamonds. And Troy's going to make a 3-bet here
250.
to 250,000. Tim can't compete with the second worst hand in No Limit Hold'em, the 8-3 offsuit, the big blind. So he's going to...
Gavin's just going to shove all in here
He has to, yeah. It's like a no-brainer decision for Gavin. Shouldn't be behind very often, and very happy to take the equity of this particular hand.
And started the hand
Showdown?
with only 15 bigs, so...
Correct.
Oh, he's got 15 bigs left. 17 big total.
So he's got 765K left, or 15 bigs, like Natan was alluding to. And this will be a tank jam for sure. I love the way that Kevin plays too. He's like, he's like a cardboard cutout of a poker player, don't you think?
Yeah. I'm curious if Troy calls this all in. It might be just about small enough for Troy to consider the call plus the bounty. I mean, the bounties, all the big ones are gone.
Have a look at that
straight away.
I think it was folded before.
Yeah.
Gavin actually put the chips into the pot there. So Troy not wanting to battle with King Jack against a seasoned vet like Gavin. So tomorrow, Natan, I know there's a couple of talks about what we may or may not be streaming. Do we have any update about what might happen tomorrow?
I'd love to stream the ending of the PLO High Roller.
Okay.
We haven't had a PLO on the stream yet, so we do have the readers for it, so it'd be good to utilize it. I guess we'll see how we're going. Matty Marshall wants to do a bit of maintenance on the table on the stream.
Just getting ready for the main.
Yeah,
yep, fair enough.
For the main so I think it'll to be decided at this point. We'll see how we're going.
Fair enough.
And also we'll see how busy the day is with the main flights and the Pillow High Roll as well as the Big O. So it'll be a busy day tomorrow.
Sounds like it. I'll tell you what though, PLO high roller is definitely, I mean, I love PLO. I love high-low is my game, and then deuce to 7 and Badoogie and all the mixed game stuff. So I'm a big fan of that. So if I get the opportunity to call the action in the PLO, that'll be right up my Kirsty alley. As we get back to the action here, this is hand number 48. The pot is 275k. The blinds are 25k, 50k with the 50k big blind ante. There's a raise by Peter Pan to 100k pre-flop with ace queen of hearts. Gavin has elected to call from the big blind, flicking in just one big with the king 10 off. And the board has come down 9-8 for 2 clubs. And Peter's going to continue his story and bet out 115k on the flop after Gavin checked it to him. Can Gavin make a play here, or do you reckon he's just going to lay it down to Peter? Have they battled a lot? Do these guys know each other quite well?
Oh, I'm sure they know each other.
Yep.
They're both regulars. No, there's not much going for him there.
Fair enough. He does fold the king 10, and Peter's going to pick up that pot. But they battle quite a bit, I'd imagine.
I'm sure they see each other around the tables.
You said that Peter before is part of the furniture here.
He definitely is. Yeah, he's. I would say he is the most regular in the room.
Okay.
He plays. We've got 4 nightly games a week here. I would say he plays pretty much most of them. He's local to the area, so yeah, he's just your absolute pleasure of a customer.
There you go. So Peter here under the gun, who just won the last hand with the ace queen of hearts, finds the 8-6 offsuit, which is more of the hand distribution I'm used to. He's going to fold, and Troy Sweet finds the ace 10 offsuit in the cutoff in this 5-handed game. Worthy of a raise, and he does. He pops it up and makes it 100k to go. Tim's already folded, got out of his seat, probably to use the bathroom. He's sick of the hand distribution he's getting. He hasn't had a hand since the pocket queens about 17 hands ago, I'd imagine.
He's also sinking a few beers, so.
Makes sense. And there's a fold from Gavin round to Charlie in the big blind with the king deuce of spades. He's going to elect to defend. So it's king deuce of spades versus the ace 10 offsuit. That was raised by Troy pre-flop, and the flop comes down queen 5-10, 2 clubs. Charlie's going to check his option from the big blind. Back round to Troy. He's picked up second best pair with the nut kicker. I'd imagine he's going to. Well, I was actually expecting him to check it back, and he did for a bit of deception. The 5 of hearts peels off on the turn. That's a big card for Troy, knowing full well that his ace 10 is most likely in front, especially considering Charlie has shown no interest by checking the flop and now checking the turn. So I'd like to see Troy just put in a little tickler of a bet. And he doesn't. He checks it back again for massive deception, trying to get Charlie on the hook. Charlie basically cannot rep this board, so I'd expect Charlie here to shut down completely. No part of his story makes sense if he was to bet, and that's exactly what he does. He does check. And Troy's going to go for the smallest of thin values. I think he might bet something like 75k, maybe even less.
I think Charlie will be in the muck before the chips are in the pot.
Agreed, as Tim has come back from wherever he walked off to. Chucks the sunglasses straight back on, considering it's 11:30 at night.
Almost full pot bet.
So he's going to do the polarizing range thing of betting basically the full pot. This is another tactic you can use. Have a look at this. He's going to get a call too. Unbelievable with king high. And Troy's going to show him ace 10 that's going to get the job done. Just the ace high was good enough, but to make the full house, 5s full of 10s, we'll scoop that pot for Troy, and he gets the max value out of Charlie. And that was what the whole idea of that bet at the river was all about.
Well, it was the 2 checks. It was the flop and the turn check.
Correct.
That's what got him called.
100% correct. And that's why Charlie called with second nut no pair. Obviously, nut no pair is any ace. Second nut no pair would be any king. So Charlie thought he had enough. Here's the draw Mahai information. I love this by Matty Marshall downstairs. 50 entries. They're down to the final table. Well, actually, I think the final table is
They were playing 6-handed, so they'd be playing 7 max for the final table.
There you go. I do apologize. So 2 tables left. There's 9 players remaining.
Bunch of your mixed game regs.
Yep. Liam Juhu's out there. Anthony McNamara's out there. Michelle Pascoe.
Yeah, she loves her mixed games, Omaha.
Zhanghua Chen, who I actually have commentated on. He's out there as well. Stuart
Yeah,
Wallace.
he was deep in the mini yesterday.
Have a look at that prize pool, 14,900. So $100 short of 15K in a draw maha, which is your first time putting it on.
First time.
There you go. So eat your heart out, poker lovers who like a bit of 5-card draw and 5-card Omaha. It's a split pot game that we have spoken about a couple of times. And talking about a split pot game, have a look at this particular hand as a setup. Under the gun, Troy Sweet finds the pocket 10s. He's going to raise it up and make it 100K to go. Tim's going to 3-bet him with pocket 6s to 275K, and the action's going to go back round to Troy. Can he navigate getting all of Tim's chips here? Or is he going to just flick in a call and play a bit more defensively?
Tim's probably got a big enough stack for him not to overcommit pre.
Yep. Good call. Be 1 second.
So Troy just weighing up whether or not he's coming in over the top or just flatting. He's definitely not folding. And he does go all in. Well, there you go. He's got a lot of different gears. Troy. He's comfortable playing post flop.
Has
He's
his intuition
happy
too.
to be aggressive pre flop. Yeah.
He's got amazing intuition as well, as you just saw just then.
There's the Dromaha board. There's Dennis.
The peace signs right there as I get my headphones caught on my microphone. Bit of Dromaha action out there.
The great thing about mixed games is that it's so spacious. It's always short-handed. You've got so much room. It's great.
Good call. If you're a slightly larger person, go and play the Dromaha. You have plenty of space, as Natan was talking about just then.
And the game is slow, so your money lasts long, you know? You sit there for hours to play. Probably hand raise. Lucky to get 15 hands an hour.
Fair enough. As Lachlan Crilly also joins us in the chat on Facebook Live. Lockie, jump over to YouTube and watch it there if you want to, because it's in high def on YouTube. Jamie Hall here at the King's Room has figured out how to put on a superior stream on YouTube, and you can actually almost watch it in 4K. So jump over there if you want to watch it in high def. If not, stick with us on Facebook Live. And good to have you join us this evening, Lachlan Crilly, recent ambassador pickup for APT. Natan?
Yeah, great boys. Nathaniel and Lockie, they've played here before, and never heard anything spoken
champions.
bad about either of
No,
them.
no,
They were great
really
when they were
good.
here.
Really good guys.
Yeah.
As we get back to the action here, Tim's raised under the gun with the ace-10 of diamonds. He's been 3-bet from the button of Charlie Heaton to 350K. Who has him dominated with the ace-jack offsuit. So can Tim find a fold here, or is he just going to flick in a call? I can't imagine him making a 4-bet jam all in with the ace-10 of diamonds. It's good, but it's not quite good enough, and he does elect to fold. That's a great fold from Tim.
Actually, Crilly won the players at Bella.
Yes.
From memory. Yeah, and I was TDing that game.
Yes,
and
you were?
Crilly, I think the next day or the day after, he tracked me down to give me a tip.
No,
And
he didn't.
I said, Crilly, it's
No, he
you know,
didn't.
I appreciate it. Of course, I always, you know, you don't. He was just, you know, you did a great job. It was just, such a champion guy, and you know, even that gesture, it goes a long way. You know,
Yeah, that speaks
you know,
volumes
I'm
to the
still
character.
talking about it now. You know, so
Wow.
yeah, well
Nice
done,
hand
Crilly.
there.
It's
Yeah, nice hand,
you know,
Crilly.
something that lasts for a long time. You know, that type of gesture and goodwill. So yeah, well done, Crilly.
Yeah, speaks volumes of the character of Lachlan Crilly. Recent pickup, like I said, for the Australian Poker Tour as an ambassador there alongside Nathaniel Hutton, who's also a very lovely character in the game, much loved. As we see Peter Panayiotis on the button, finding the ace, queen of hearts, jamming it all in for 645K. No contenders, and got to take it down. Just a couple of blinds, that's it. blinds are 30k, 60k with a 60k big blind ante. You're listening to myself, Josh Monk, aka Monkey, alongside Natan, who had a birthday, turned 39 yesterday. He's one of the owners alongside Mark Liddell for the King's Premium Poker Tour. Not Poker Tour, King's Premium Poker Room. We're just talking about another tour. So the King's Premium Poker Room. And they're hosting the Colossus Series right here at St. George Leagues Club, which is 124 Princess Highway in Cogra. So if you haven't been down to this, I know that Berkey called it the Big Kids Playground.
Yep.
Which I kind of liked. If you haven't been down to the Big Kids Playground.
It's not too late. We've got 2 main flights tomorrow.
Yep.
We've got the Big Stack on Sunday as a secondary event, which always gets around 70, 80k
Sure.
for a single dayer as well. So
Gotta love that. There's a race to 125k under the gun by Charlie, who's got the ace-5 of diamonds.
a lot of diamonds out there.
Yeah, Peter Panagidis has the king-queen of diamonds, and believe it or not, Tim's picked up the jack-4 of diamonds, but he's going to get out of the way. Gavin picks up the jack-4 off, so it's heads-up action. Ace-5 of diamonds versus the king-queen. A couple of diamonds have already been burnt. Here comes the flop. It comes ace-queen deuce, 2 clubs. So both of them picking up a pair here. Charlie with top pair and Peter with second best pair. And the nut kicker, because obviously the ace is on the board. And Charlie's going to check from out of position and see if he can get Peter to fire this flop. Peter's not going to fall for it. Checks back. Turn card brings in the clubs draw. Jack of clubs on the turn. Peter does pick up a little bit of equity here. He can make a straight now with a 10. Let's see how Charlie decides to navigate his top pair with a very weak kicker on this particular board. He's going to bet 275k. I imagine Pete might
It's very short.
might have to fold, believe it or not. The board is a little bit wet on the turn. I do know he's got second best pair and a draw to make that straight, but he could be crushed in this particular hand, and he's short, so he might be thinking about finding a better spot to whack his stack in for 670k that he has behind. Don't think he wants to call it off here. Maybe a question for Lachlan Crilly. Mind you, it would probably take Lachlan Crilly about 10 minutes to explain and analyse the hand, mate. Last
That's
time
the
I
problem.
spoke, last time that I spoke to
complex.
him, mate, I'm telling you, he went so deep in the tank. I started getting, brain aneurysms, and he was actually. You should have said the levels upon levels upon levels. I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, well, just give it to me in layman's terms. Do I call or fold?
Yeah, you got to give credit to how deep these guys go. They study the game. They really are students of the game.
Yeah.
It's great to see.
Good call. So Peter, obviously deep in the tank here. He likes to think these hands through.
Well, he's obviously deciding whether or not this is the hand he's willing to commit the rest of his stack in. He's not going to call 275,000 with, not much behind. He's got 670 total. He's really committing here with second pair, no club. Yeah, he gets rid of
He
it.
does fold, so it's a good fold there from Peter. Second best pair. Obviously, the board was pretty wet on the turn when the jack of clubs peeled off. Gave him a few more cards to make a straight.
These stats are very curious. He went to showdown and pre-flop aggression. And
By the way, I have to admit, Natan, I don't know how much input you have with Matty Marshall down there doing the RFID stream in terms of the theme that you guys are using on stream. I kind of really like that blue and that grey. It's like easy on the eye, obviously quite easy for the viewers at home to read what's going on. Sometimes
I had nothing to do with it. It's
There you
all
go,
Matty
Matty.
Marshall.
Good on
all,
you, Matty.
All the settings that you see and everything that you see scrolling, obviously we tell him, the main things that need to be up there. But yeah, Matty's in charge of everything stream related.
yeah, you just print
have-
tickets and hand out money, yeah?
Very confident with
Peter Panagidis under the gun, finds the jack-7 of diamonds. He's going to elect to put that into the muck. Troy Sweets picked up the diamonds. So we've seen back-to-back hands with a ton of
a
diamonds
lot
in
of
there.
diamonds.
Troy Sweets found the queen-3 of diamonds in the cutoff. And there's another diamond for good measure, the ace-4 offsuit of Tim.
Tim's the least active player on the table, so I can't imagine he's going to get involved with ace-4.
Doesn't surprise me. He has been.
Well, there you go. Prove me wrong, Tim. Thank you.
On cue too. As Gavin also finds the king jack of clubs, but that's not worthy of calling an all-in jam. So he's going to get out of the way. Back around to Troy.
Good reputation gets you quick folds.
Mm-hmm. Tell you what, he not judging obviously, doesn't mind a cold beverage.
No.
Tim, fair enough.
Carries it well.
Does. It's got about 8 litres of water.
I'm pretty
running through.
sure Tim is Finnish, who love a drink. The Finns.
Yeah, they do. Have you ever been there?
Well, I was born in Estonia, which is next door.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Question still stands though. Have you ever been there?
To Finland?
Yeah.
No, I've been to Estonia.
Oh, that's too funny. So he's actually never been there. Claims born in Estonia, right next door to Finland, but never been there. That was too funny.
I was born 80 kilometers from Helsinki, so close enough.
There you go. A couple of my favourite online poker players back in the day. Juha Helpi was from Finland.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's crazy, the Scandies.
yeah, and geez, I can see his face, but I can't put name to it. What was his name? Might have to look that up. That's going to bother me all night.
Go on while these guys split this pot.
Yep.
Ace Jack for each. Pete's is suited with Ace Jack. Charlie's double suited. And it's a rainbow on the flop. So only a heart on the turn will give out.
Zygmunt.
Zygmunt, yeah.
Zygmunt online. His name was Zygmunt, and I'm just trying to figure out what his actual name was. He was
His avatar name.
No, his avatar name was Zygmunt. He used to play the big high stakes games on Full Tilt Poker, and he's just an amazing poker player. One time I actually sat up to watch, and he took on Phil Ivey in doing 200k flips.
Okay.
And Phil Ivey took him for 5 flips consecutively, and then he wrote in the chat, "Thanks very much. I can't go to the WSOP in Europe now." Alari Shahimis is correct. That was the name I was trying to find. Good call from Sammy. Alari Shahimis is his name. Sigmund Online back in the day. Absolute crusher. Him and Durr, Tom Dwan used to do some epic battles back and forth. Anyway, we get back to live poker. Forget about online poker for that matter. This is the King's Premium Poker Room at the St. George Leagues Club Mystery Bounty Day 2. It's a $600 buy-in, prize pool of $75,705, top prize of $10K. There are 5 players remaining out of a field of 147. And you're watching the 5 players at the moment on the stream. A 20-minute delay on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Peter Panagidis decides to limp in from the small blind in a blind v blind battle. The board comes down Queen 4 deuce. No help to Peter's 6-7 offsuit, but Troy has picked up top pair. And he's going to check back for a little bit of deception.
Same trick
here.
again, huh?
Same trick again. Same trick pony, I should say. 3's a big card for Peter actually on the turn. He does pick up now a gut shot to make a straight. So if Troy decides to check this one back and give Peter a free shot at it, he could get caught out this time. But I'd imagine Troy is probably going to put in a bet.
C3 bets, 150.
To be fair, Den in the chat.
That's Dennis.
Is that Dennis?
That's
is it?
Dennis, who should be working.
Right.
Instead, he's trolling me.
He's trolling you in the,
on
chat.
the chat.
Right, okay, good. Gotcha. To be fair, Den, kind of doesn't need to know anything about poker. He owns it. One of the perks of being the owner or co-owner here of the King's Room Poker crew. He can do whatever he wants, essentially. Like he said before, he prints out tickets and hands out money. And that's a good friend to have. One way or another, but everybody loves Natan. And it's shown up in spades, not only in the support he gets in the room, but also in the chat here on the comms. And I can tell you this much for free, the staff here also adore you and Mark, Natan. So props to you. You obviously look after them extremely well, and they bend over backwards
Well,
for you.
we love them.
Yeah.
They help us put this
Well, they're the
show
engine.
to you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very lucky to have the staff that we have.
You've got the Japanese here, a couple of Russians.
Yeah, we're very multicultural.
Yeah.
We've got a few of the interstate guys as well, and it's just a great combination. We probably had about 60 odd individuals, so yeah, really rely on a wide range of people, and allows us to put on so many games at the same time, and it's great.
And I do appreciate also, Natan, for you reaching out to me and asking if I would like to come up and call the action for the King's Room. I took the idea and I said, yep, love to. And it's been a pleasure to be up here and actually see it in full swing. I've never been to St. George League Club before until I rocked up in an Uber on the first day that I arrived. And to be honest, I was blown away. I thought I dead set the place you could probably see from the moon, Natan. It is massive, absolutely massive. I walked in the door. I said, whoa, 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 what's this? Not some Mickey Mouse club. This is proper. It is huge out here. There's probably 300 plus car parks down.
That car park is not big enough.
And it's not big enough.
On a game day,
Right.
across the road, when they're when the
game
Dragons
over.
are playing, nothing.
Fair enough. But I
Even
mean,
the way the Dragons are going, it still sells out.
fair enough. But there's plenty of car parks if you want to come down and play the poker. I've found a car park every time I've come in here, despite what time I've come in. And then you walk into the auditorium where there's a beautiful sort of reception area. And then as Tim here just jams it all in from the small blind with the ace-4 of diamonds. I don't think Gavin's going to call with king 6 from the big. He is short. He's got 13 bigs or 770k to his stack, and he does elect to fold. But yeah, you walk in here and it basically has everything. And the funny thing was, as you and I, Natan, had a little bit of a conversation. He goes, and he said to me, I'll take you upstairs. I didn't even see the stairs. So there's like a full kind of
Another
upstairs.
wing.
Yeah,
Another wing of the venue.
But I was just like, hold on a second, there's upstairs. He's like, yeah, it's almost bigger than downstairs. I was like, what? How is that
Yeah.
even possible?
So we were up in the Grange the other night during Origin.
Mhm.
Again, just shows you how flexible the venue are. And, you know, there's a rugby league club, and you know, obviously they need to showcase Origin, and the secondary room that we've been in, the Premier's Lounge, that has to be converted to Origin watching space. So they've given us another area in the venue, and
Sure.
so it's just a pleasure to work with a group of people that, you know, really want us here.
Absolutely. And Mark was talking about that when we had Mark Liddell in a couple of nights ago, about the camaraderie and the support that the
Definitely.
club gives Kings, and in return what Kings gives the club.
Sure.
And there are talks about some pretty exciting things in the future, Natan, as Troy Sweet decided to raise it up to 120k from the cutoff with Queen 3 suited in hearts, and Charlie decided to defend from the big line with the ace
Even
deuce
when
off.
even when he raises with Queen 3, he flops the best of it.
That's true.
The guy's a genius.
Unbelievable. And obviously got called from the big blind from Charlie. He's got the acey deucey offsuit. Troy's going to bet his bottom pair.
And Charlie's been
150K.
bitten once by Troy already. He's made him call with King High, and he wasn't good. So there you go. Troy just gets another one.
Going back to what I was saying before, Natan, it's been a pleasure. So thank you very much for the
You're
opportunity.
welcome. It was great to have you.
Hopefully you're enjoying the commentary that I'm.
Commentary has been very entertaining, I've got to be honest.
Thank you. You did pull me up this morning for calling Festus fetus last night, which you giggled at. It was a bit of a slip of a tongue last night. It was pretty deep into the commentary. I think I might have been 7 or 8 hours in, or maybe anywhere between 5 and 7 hours in, and
That was classic.
I looked up at the screen and I thought his name was Fetus, even though I found out a bit later on it's Festus. But had to instantly correct myself. So I'm happy that you had a bit
He's
of a
a good
giggle.
bloke, yeah.
Yeah, and I went out to him and I said, look, I'm really sorry. I accidentally called you Fetus. And he said to me, he laughed a little bit and he said, no, it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I like what you're doing in the combo. So I appreciate that. As Gavin's going to jam it all in with the Queen 10, can anybody find a hand? And he can.
He will. He's going to get a call.
Peter Panayiotis finding the ace jack, got his suit covered.
And they're
Two
both
in
actually
hearts.
similarly stacked. So this is basically GG's for whoever loses.
Well, you got to remember, Peter is shorter than Gavin. So technically speaking, Peter is all in at risk for 520k. Gavin does have him covered by 220k in chips. So Peter needs to survive, but he is in a very healthy position to do so. 61% of equity with the ace jack. And here comes the flop. It comes, wow, have a look at this for a flop. It comes ace, king, queen. So both of them have got a part of it. Obviously, Peter out in front at the moment with top pair. The deuce of spades on the turn, no help. Gavin needs to find a queen or a jack and doesn't find it. So Peter's going to ship some chips over to Peter Panayides. So he's now up to 1.1
Funnily
mil.
enough, now, Gavin's 3.7 big blind stack is going to create a lot of action because it obviously comes with the bounty chip.
Yep.
So you'd imagine that as soon as his chips go in, most will want to either isolate it.
Yep.
So they might all go crazy for it.
Sure. Definitely an additional element to this kind of mystery bounty event, different to that of your kind of default no limit hold'em events. And that's definitely something to think about. Natan, so well said and well picked up. I probably would have missed that if you didn't make mention of it. Yes, that
Well, you
chip
kind
is-
of hope that one of the big bounties is still in play
Correct.
at this stage of the event.
Correct.
Unfortunately, well, I mean, we don't care who it goes to, but just for the,
But the players
for the
do, for
excitement,
sure.
yeah.
The players
If it's still
definitely
in play, it makes a big difference. If the 10K was still
Sure.
in play, then it really changes the game.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, if there's 5 bounties left, or whatever the case may be, you're 1 in 5 to bink it for 10K
Yeah.
if the 10K was still in play.
Correct.
So, good shout out by Natan there. Well said.
Pranav got the 10K, and well done to him.
I was actually there for that. I walked in to go down for
yeah?
to the production, just to have a little chin wag with Matty Marshall and Jamie Hall. Walked straight into the guy binking the 10K.
Yeah. He picked it just. He's like, oh, just as I'm going to the break, I'll go and draw the bounty.
Yeah.
There you go, 10 large.
He came over to me, gave me a fist pump. I said, Pranav, good on you, mate. I'm happy for you. Other 10 Gs, why not? And he's a lovely guy too. I see him at a lot of poker events.
Yeah,
and,
Pranav plays all over.
yeah, and he's just one of those guys that, to be honest with you, Natan, just super friendly, got a good vibe about him, always personable. You can always go up there and have a chat, and very well liked in the industry.
I think he made APL million final table from memory.
Right.
I think so.
Okay, fair enough. As Gavin Ogilvie here under the gun finds the ace-10 offsuit. And that should be good enough to whack it in for 220K. And Charlie's picked up the, I like to call them the Ash Guptas, the three-side, dot. Also known as pocket eights. A good friend of mine back in Melbourne, Ash Gupta, who's actually over in the WSOP at the moment in Vegas.
So
Made this hand
I'm
very
assuming that Charlie's probably thinking to isolate here.
It's exactly what he's going to do. As you can see, those big DOMs, high DOM chips of the white 100Ks being placed out there. He's going to 3-bet it to 850K. Peter's going to fold the 4-3 off. Tim Venari has the 3-deuce offsuit in the big blind, and that's not going to be good enough to contend. So Gavin's going to flip over his ace-10 off, and Charlie has the pocket eights. And it's basically a flip at the moment. Very common situation in no limit hold'em. The pair versus the 2 overcards. Gavin all in at risk here. Charlie did make that 3-bet to isolate, and here comes the flop. And there's an 8 in the window, and an ace for that matter. So Gavin needs to find some running cards to help after Charlie has flopped a set. Here comes the turn, brings in a 10. What a card. So an ace or a 10 for Gavin to survive. Otherwise, he's going to be busted in 5th. And here comes the river down and dirty. In a second, there's a small little pause here for the dramatic effect of what the river could be. 4 outs is what Gavin's going for. The Jack of Spades is not going to get it done. And the full house. There's the behind-the-scenes stuff that Jamie Hall likes to put together. And Gavin's going to be eliminated in 5th. Picking up $2,700 for his efforts in this particular event, plus a shot, I believe, at... Did he have an extra chip for a stab at the bounty? No, he just had one.
He looks like he's walked straight past the barrel, so assuming no, I'm not sure if I'm assuming he's probably knocked someone along the way.
Good call. So we lose Gavin right there in
They wanted Jamie to
5th position for 2,700. So GG's in the chat there. And all of a sudden, just like that, we're down to 4 as we approach midnight local time here in New South Wales at the St George Leagues Club. 124 Princess Highway, Cogra. Troy Sweet on the button finds the King 5 offsuit. That's worthy of a raise, and that's exactly what he does. He pops it up and makes it 120K go. Tim Venari
The
has
pay
the King
jump's
10 off.
starting to become a little bit more relevant now. 3,300 for the next out, and there's an extra $900 if you survive to 3rd.
Good call. Tim's been playing, I tell you what.
Yeah, he's picked it up. picked it up. He was very quiet for the first kind of hour that I've been here, but seems to have gotten more involved.
Yeah, he might be
Changing gears.
changing gears or changing beers. One of the, one
Or
of the
maybe
two.
both.
You teed me up beautifully for that one there, Natan. I think we do quite well as a duo here in the box. Obviously, you've got bigger and better things to do than sit and commentate, but
Keep you company.
I love the company, so I very much appreciate you joining me here in the booth. It's great to have you in there, and also giving the players and the people who are watching at home kind of those stories about how Kings all got together and how you put the schedule together and what you do to keep everybody happy. And I think you do an outstanding job. I'd go as far to say the best in the industry, Natan.
I'd love to actually know what do players want to see more of? You know, is there stuff on the schedule that they would like to see added, or you know, it's always I'm always looking for feedback. More than happy to have a chat with anyone who wants to.
Actually, I'll tell you something that I did kind of giggle at because I know it's a little bit of a troll. But the other day we did the same thing. Just going to call the action here real quickly. A repeat 10 of spades on the turn. Both of the players do have a spade in their hands, so they're both flush drawing. However, Peter does have the jack of spades, so he does have the spades covered on Charlie's end for that matter. But Charlie's going to come out and bet just 80K. So 20K more than the min. And Peter makes a very easy call. The jack-eye flush draw and the queen of clubs, no help to either player. Charlie's actually got the check mark next to his name. So no pair for either player. Charlie's king high is going to get this one done. What were we talking about? Sorry, Natan?
Suggestions, feedback.
Oh, yeah. Whenever you ask people for suggestions or feedback, you're always going to find one person who comes into the chat and says, lower the rake.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, there's always one, yeah? Everybody wants to come here and sit here on the best seats, on the best RFID, in the best venue, yeah? And want to do it for free,
I think we're, I'm pretty proud that we're definitely on the low end of the rate.
Correct. That's
Particularly
true.
with the structures that we give, and it's something that I'm very, very conscious of and always have been.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm definitely always very wary of the rake to buy in to guarantee structures, and I'd love to be known as the operator that takes care of players from all facets of the game. So yeah, I mean, the rake is always a very subjective conversation, and one that I'm more than willing and happy to have.
And I think it's a testament to you with the amount of attendance you get from your audience here, not just on the stream, but also coming in and playing your events, that they appreciate that. They show up, they continually keep showing up. And if you weren't looking after them, across all the aspects of this operation, they probably would play somewhere else. So obviously you're doing something and you're doing it extremely well.
Yeah,
and so hats off to you.
Thank you.
Mark and Natan. As Charlie just flops an absolute monster here. Have a look at this turn card too. Top two pair with the queen eye flush draw in a four-handed game.
And unfortunately, Troy doesn't have much of it, so.
Troy also can make plays and trick it up a little bit.
He seems to just know when to.
Yeah,
he's
it's
not
crazy,
committed
isn't
a
it, right?
single chip
Yeah.
in a spot that he's drawing dead.
Yeah,
It's
crazy.
So how many spots have we seen him make a bet or play it?
Make a play to pot
in the correct spot, right?
Yeah.
But here he's drawing dead, and he somehow finds a check, and he's just going to get away with it.
Yeah, and he does fold
There
too.
you
Look
go.
at this.
He just commits no money to it. It's unbelievable. He's got king high. It's not that bad four-handed.
Yeah,
And-
I
and
agree.
he's absolutely lost the minimum. It's incredible.
Yep, and I totally agree with you, Natan. It's actually quite good to watch, to be honest. It's talking about putting on a clinic. Troy is definitely doing that. He's got good intuition. I haven't really seen him play much outside of sort of commentating on this particular stream, but I've been impressed nonetheless that he kind of finds his spots. He runs good sometimes, but also he's got a very good kind of like poker mind about him.
Yeah.
And that's showing up here as he's up to 2.775 million in chips, or 46 bigs. He is the chip leader at the moment. You're looking at the second chip leader right on screen at the moment, Charlie Heaton with 2.54, 42 bigs. It's going to pop it up to 120k under the gun with the ace-3 off. Troy's going to fold the king-4 off. Round 2, Tim Venari, who basically hasn't played a hand for probably 3 or 4 orbits. I haven't seen him contend in a pot for quite some time. Have you, Natan?
No.
Well,
Confirmation from the owner saying no. Hasn't seen Tim contend in a pot.
There you go.
We're going
It's
to eat
playing
our
a pot.
words here as he does call from the big blind with the Jack Deuce of clubs. So it's Jack Deuce versus the ace-3. There was a raise by Charlie and a call from Tim. And off to the flop, ace-7, 8 on the board. Complete Badoogie. Charlie miles out in front, up to 94% equity here. Tim needs some running clubs or running jacks or running deuces for that matter. Or running Jack Deuce. It's another way to get it done. Charlie is going to check back for a bit of deception. Here comes the turn, brings in the king of diamonds. So Tim now drawing dead in this particular hand. Tim's going to check. Charlie is most likely going to have a bet on the turn. There it is, 100k. And Tim couldn't get out of it any faster. Straight into the bin. Now, there was talks I've seen online a little bit, Natan, about some eyewear, where people are coming in with those kind of...
Meta glasses.
yes, the meta glasses. Now, what's your take on all of that? I'd like to hear it from the operational side of things.
Well, we haven't made an official decision to ban them, but I'm very confident that that will come shortly because it's just a can of worms in terms of the AI technology that's allowing players to basically cheat. You know, at the
Right.
Well, I mean, you have the cheating aspect of it, but also you have the recording of others without their permission. So it's kind of interfering with two aspects of the game. So
Sure.
yeah, we have already had situations of players being uncomfortable with others wearing meta glasses, and I suppose the good thing about them is that you know when they're recording because
Yeah.
there's a little light on it.
Yeah, correct.
So you can't really hide it.
Tim's going to jam here from the small blind with the ace jack, and he's going to get it through.
But I you know, it's a slippery slope when it comes to, you know,
All this
technology. And
yeah.
the, you know, I think I heard WSOP was considering banning phones completely on the tables or something like that. Well,
Right.
Definitely one of the majors around the world is considering it some sort of ban on phones. So yeah, I think it's something that it'll evolve over time and something that we need to keep our finger on the pulse in terms of making sure that the integrity of the game is maintained. I think, you know,
Great call.
a lot of people will always look for an edge, and unfortunately that's part and parcel of you know, poker and money, and people will try to find ways to exploit. So yeah, it's something that, you know, we've already spoken about, specifically about the meta glasses. Yeah, I think it won't be long before we kind of make that decision to say, look, we don't really want to dabble with that.
Charlie's going to jam from the small blind with a 10-5 off for 2.6. Peter does have the best hand, but he can't call. So he's going to fold the Jack 5 of diamonds. Yeah, no, good shout there. I totally agree with you, Natan. It's funny, almost any single game or sport or anything where there's money involved,
Yeah.
there's always going to be a crew of people out there trying to find weaknesses.
Yeah, everyone's always trying
Cracks.
to push the boundaries.
Yeah.
And even, I mean, for example, you know, TDA, it explicitly says, you know, you can't use technology to aid you in terms of graphs or solvers and stuff like that. But we're so limited to what we can actually do. You know, players can step away from the table, go to the bathroom, go outside. You know, they can look at these graphs. They can, you know, put hands through solvers.
Yeah.
Like we saw that.
In the WSOP.
That was
yeah,
just
that was
I mean,
so bad.
That was horrific. There
yeah,
was
on the
literally-
rail too.
Yeah, it was
really bad.
I actually don't understand how that was even allowed.
Yeah,
you know that. I reckon if that happened now, it probably gets DQ'd.
I would agree with you, and it's probably a DQable offence. Actually, I would definitely, if I was running the show there, do the DQ. But the funny thing is like at that particular time, there was kind of no rules around it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's frowned upon.
Well, I mean, if strictly by TDA, you cannot have any electronic aids, and that was, you know, his mates running solvers for him after hands. Like it was just wild.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, can't. I think the WSOP recognized that they made a big mistake.
Yep.
And I think that they acted on it for the following year. But yeah, who knows if it changes the result of the game? But yeah, if I'm the person who's come second on that, I'd be feeling pretty dirty.
Just going back here, Troy Sweet did find the 3-bet to 500k and a snap fold from Charlie, who made a raise from the button, I believe, with the 10-6 suited in spades, and it wasn't good enough to contend with. So he put it straight in the muck the moment that Troy decided to come in for the 3-bet to 500k. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Natan. I mean, like I said, anybody, whenever there's money involved in anything, especially big money like there is in poker events.
I think there's also the social aspect that we do consider. You know, we pride ourselves on the social aspect of what we bring, and if everyone's got their head in their phones on the tables,
just looks bad too.
Yeah,
and it's awful on stream.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
We made that decision on stream that they're not allowed to have their phones at all.
Yep.
This will be an all-in call. These guys will get the money in surely. Pete's got 8 bigs.
He's got 8.4 bigs on the button with King Queen.
So
good enough.
Definitely. More than good enough.
Yeah, I agree. You don't find these types of premium holdings very often. And Troy's actually got a hand.
Yeah.
King Jack off.
He's probably good enough to get... he might just flat to see a 3-way.
It's so funny because I've got a funny feeling he's just going to like get out of the way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's been playing so solid the entire event that it wouldn't surprise me if he, finds the King Jack that would be calling here 99% of the time, and the 1% of the time he's just going to find the fold, and he's going to be very happy, and he does. And this is unbelievable. What a clinic. And Tim's actually found the ace-9 off.
All players had a playable hand.
In the big blind too. So he's got 13 bigs and found an ace in a 3-handed game. Now, obviously, the action in front of him, he needs to seriously consider how good this ace is going to be often enough, and Charlie's going to snap it off. So it's pocket 8s versus the King Queen.
I mean, in both spots, if Charlie doesn't open, Troy calls the all-in.
Correct.
Or Tim calls the all-in.
It's kind of crazy how that's worked out. Anyway, pocket 8s versus the King Queen. Standard race situation. The Queen. Straight away for Peter. Charlie needs to find... And that King now on the turn needs to find an 8 ball at the river. Doesn't get it done. And so top 2 pair on this board will get it done for Peter. Up to 870k. Sorry, he increased his stack by 870k. Now up to 1.5 million or 19 bigs.
Nice.
And Charlie's going to go down to 1.9 mil. 24 bigs. So nice little collect there for Peter, who's now third in chips. So for those people who haven't played cards down here at the St. George Leagues Club, tomorrow, which is Saturday, May the 30th. Actually, as a matter of fact, it's already Saturday, May the 30th, as it's now ticked over to 11 minutes past the hour. We've got a few events on tomorrow, Natan. At midday, Colossus Flight D, and Colossus being the main event.
We'll see what that Colossus is actually. Let's check out that flight right now. So flight C is up to 161 now. So that's up to about 400 total.
There we go.
So main sitting around 260 before 2 flights tomorrow, plus day 2 entry Sunday.
Yep. So, and I might actually get to that. There was a question in the chat about that in a second. So tomorrow at midday, right on noon, the Colossus Flight D kicks off. It's a $750 buy-in, 50k starting stack, 40-minute levels. And you can shoot as many bullets as you would like into that up until day 2. As we're just looking at the action here, there was a raise by Troy Sweet on the button with the Jack-9 offsuit. Charlie has decided to call from the big blind. Troy's going to continue his narrative that he's got the best hand and bet out, looks like 125k. Can Charlie call with nut no pair? And he does. Turn card brings in the 6 of spades, so no help to Troy or Charlie for that matter, but Charlie still miles out in front, 88% equity. Imagine Troy here is going to go for one more barrel, and he could potentially get this one through if he does. Let's see if he can pull the trigger. He doesn't, decides to check it back. Here comes the river down and dirty. And it has been dealt, but we haven't quite seen it yet. Playing a little catch-up. The 5 of clubs at the river, no good to Troy. So check mark goes to Charlie's hand at the moment with the King Queen. But Troy can quite easily bluff Charlie off this as the 4-liner gets in. Any 4 will make it straight. Obviously, the nuts on this particular board is 9-8. He does elect to check, and this is going to open the door for Troy to kind of steal this pot. If you can put in a sizable bet and get Charlie off nut no pair.
Charlie's already made a king high call, so maybe once bitten, twice shy.
Good call. Got a funny feeling Troy might actually check this one back and play it perfect. And he does. It's amazing, yeah? He doesn't pull the trigger there, and he does check it back, and
he really loses minimum.
He does.
I think that has to be one of the secrets to his success. He gets away with losing minimum, and then he seems to maximize when he's actually got the winning hand.
It's unbelievable. Very, very good by Troy, and well played there by Charlie, who's now up to 2.245 million in chips, or 28 bigs. So just getting back to what's going on today. So Saturday, May 30th at midday, the Colossus, which is their main event. It's got a $300,000 guarantee. Don't worry about that. They're going to surpass that by probably later on tonight, if not tomorrow in the first half an hour, give or take.
Yeah.
It's a $750 buy and 50K starting stack. 40-minute levels, unlimited re-entries until day 2. At 2 p.m, there's a PLO high roller. That's a $750 buy-in, 100K starting stack, 25-minute levels, and unlimited until 6:15 p.m. 6:15 there for those people who want to come in and play the PLO high roller. Make sure you're here before Max Late Reg closes at 6:15 p.m. At 5 p.m, there's another flight into the main, the Colossus Flight E, and that is the last flight of the main. So on Saturday at 5 p.m, jump in there. Again, $750 buy-in, 50K starting stack, 40-minute levels.
Yeah, Charlie's
no problem.
Just gone big with Queen 2. Troy's raised it up under the gun with Queen 8. Charlie's decided to make a stand here with Queen 2. The small blind gets it through.
You know, that reminds me of in rounders. I want to be pushed around. Yeah. He's had just about enough of Troy pushing him around, and he puts the 3-bet in there with the Queen Deuce off.
Thank you. Almost, I'm not going to look at my hand. I'm going to 3-bet you.
Yeah, good call. So just getting back to what I was talking about before. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. is the last flight into the main. Colossus Flight E. 300K guaranteed, like I said before, but they'll rip that to shreds tomorrow in the first half an hour. It's a $750 buy-in, 50K starting stack, 40-minute levels, unlimited until day 2. The record prize pool in that event is $462,800 to date, but I'd imagine the boys are going to get that done tomorrow quite comfortably. And at 6 p.m, the Big O for the D-Gens out there, $350 buy-in, 40K starting stack, 20-minute levels, and unlimited until 9:10 p.m. That's had a record prize pool of, what's that, 20,100?
Yeah, the Big O is just something special. It's something special. I don't know. They love it.
Now, for people who don't know about the Big O, Natan, tell them what
PLO
it's all about.
5 high-low. So you get a whole lot of split pots, a whole lot of betting, a whole lot of action. It's just a bit of adrenaline.
Yep. A player's playground and a dealer's nightmare, that game.
Never really dead.
Yeah, and that's true. And that's right up my Kirsty alley. If I was to do something tomorrow, that would be the game I'd play. That's a $350 buy-in, 40K starting stack, 20-minute levels, and again, late registration closing on that event at 9:10.
The dealers love it when they get quartered.
TD.
Yep. Need help, yeah.
It's too funny. Just out of interest sake, you got any idea where the series is currently sitting in total prize pools?
So
roughly?
Before today, it was just under 1.5.
Before today?
Yeah, before today. So
you're going to hit that 1.5 plus series estimate. You're going to...
Oh, yeah.
Forget about that.
Yeah.
Might as well put that leaflet right there on the table into the bin. They'll get through all of them. As we can see, an all-in from Troy Sweet in the small blind. The ace deuce suited in clubs for 2.3 million. Tim's actually picked up King 6 off.
He's getting short enough to consider calling down with King High.
Good call, and it looks like he will.
He is.
And he does. So he's going to see the bad news, but he's still live. 60-40 flip. Matty Marshall coming in on the chat saying the keyword for Big O is pot. Totally agree. As the flop comes down 7, 8, 10, complete rainbow. No real help to Tim outside of a gut shot to make the straight, and he's actually picked up an up and down and makes the straight at the river. There we go.
Never in doubt.
So,
Never in doubt, he says.
so Tim's actually going to make a straight there by hitting the 9 at the river.
The May must be on a break because it's a bit of a rail.
Yep, definitely looks like that. And Tim now up to 25 bigs, or just shy of 2 million.
So that's kind of evened it out a little bit.
It has, hasn't it? Charlie's
Troy's suddenly the short stack.
Yeah, I mean, I think before you had, what was it, 48 bigs or something, you know, a six-handed game, and all of a sudden down to 17 bigs, he needs to find a hand. Otherwise, he might bust out in fourth coming into this feature and final table, a commanding chip lead. I know that when we went to the actual start of this coverage, I think he had 116 or 110 bigs.
Yeah, he had a big stack.
And I thought to myself, geez,
Hard to lose.
Yeah, hard to lose from here.
But I mean, he's to be fair to him, he's done nothing wrong.
No, he hasn't.
You know, he's lost that 60-40 flip, and suddenly he's the short stack. That's the nature of the game.
Yeah, he squeezed out maximum money where he needed to and saved money where he needed to too. And you've seen that all night on this stream as Peter Panayides under the gun finds the Queen Deuce offsuit. He's going to put that into the muck. Troy's going to find the Ace 4. That's probably worthy of a jam on the button here. So it wouldn't surprise me if he does come in for a raise or a jam. And he's going to pop it up and make it 160k to go. The blinds have gone up to 40k, 80k with an 80k big blind ante. Tim now picks up the suited connector 5-4, but he's going to fold. Sorry, 5-6, I should say, of diamonds and fold round to Charlie. He's got the ace deuce off. He's got to whack it. And Troy's actually going to fold.
Charlie's
he's
notched it up. He's saying,
yeah,
you know what, Troy? I'm not going to let you play me post flop. I'm just going to get it in pre.
Gotta like this. He's changed the gears up a little bit, like he said, Natan.
He's done well. He's changed the way that he wants to play flops with Troy. Basically, he's happy to get him in pre. Have, you know, Troy can obviously get away with a lot more in post flop. But pre is, there's not many options. You either commit your chips or you don't. So he's got to have a very strong holding. Good
call as Tim picks up the Joe Hasham hand, the 7-3 offsuit. Made famous by Joe 21 years ago, believe it or not.
No.
You would have been what, 18?
I can't believe that.
21 years ago.
I remember watching it.
I remember being at Crown dealing in the Crown poker room when he won. So there you have it. Now I play golf with the guy, so you can't make that up, that story. As there's a raise to 225k with the Queen Deuce from Charlie, who's been playing outstandingly. He's got 34 bigs to his chip stack at the moment, just over 2.7 mil, putting some pressure on the big blind of Peter Panayides, who has 15 bigs or 1.2 mil. He's found the natural 9 for the back row players at home.
It feels like Charlie's made a really conscious effort to ramp up the aggression.
Yeah, great call. And the board is going to come 6-7 deuce. Charlie actually picks up bottom pair here. Peter has a backdoor straight pair, 2-pair trips, and a flush draw combo to try and improve. Charlie's going to check bottom pair here. Peter, I'd imagine, should check back. See if he can peel off a nice card on the turn. And he does on cue. Perfect. Here comes the turn card. Brings in a repeat 6. Not a good card for Peter. Needed to pick up some equity. Couldn't find a diamond on the turn. So I'd imagine Charlie's now going to come out with a bet to protect his hand. And here it is. So bets 180k. And Peter's got nothing more but a hope and a dream with Jack High. Actually, perfect bet size. And if, to be honest, and he does get Peter to fold.
Well played hand by Charlie there.
Yeah, I totally agree. Peter at the bottom now, 13 bigs. Natan, now look, I don't want you to sound biased here, but who are you going for in this four-handed game?
Honestly, absolutely
any of
doesn't
them
bother me who wins. I'm happy for all of them.
Well done.
Happy for all of them.
So I thought you were going to
Nah.
to go with the ambassador, but
No.
fair enough.
He's won how much in bounties already?
Yeah.
He's already a winner.
Man of the people, Natani. He does not mind. He likes all of the people who come down and play his series equally. Props to you, Natana. I agree. Doesn't really make too much difference when you're behind the scenes running the show. You just want everybody to have a good time, which they are doing. As Charlie finds the Queen 7, the internet hand suited in hearts. Peter Panayides is in the small blind with the Doyle Brunson offsuit. He's going to fold. Can Troy pick up a hand? He finds the King 3. This could actually be a call. No, he doesn't. Decides to put it into the muck.
Charlie's in a bit of a weird spot because his button is up against the 2 short stacks. Pete's 13 and Troy's 15. So they're going to call him down with, you know, pretty wide range of hands. So interesting shove there from Charlie. You think that's probably King 3 is probably borderline what Troy's going to stack off with.
Yep.
You know, slightly better king he's probably calling there.
Now, Natal, do you actually get any time to play the game? Or are you kind of a bit sick of it because you're around it all the time type of scenario?
I get asked this question a lot.
Yep.
The answer is I love the game, yes.
Yep.
I think that it's been so long since I've played the game seriously that the game's moved on so considerably from
And you've been
what
left in the car park.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, right.
I play a really old school version of Hold'em.
Yeah, right. And these internet kids out
It's just
here
changed so much. Like, and to be honest, poker has changed because, you know, things like a big blind ante has changed, like revolutionized the game. I don't think people recognize how big a difference a big blind ante has made to the
massive.
game. In the way that people take flops, in the way that, you know, people just feel like they're more committed to flops when, you know, when they're the big blind, stuff like that. Even though it's made no difference, you know, paying an ante every hand as opposed to paying it once at orbit is the same. But psychologically, people feel like, oh, I'm committed. I've already paid 2 big blinds into this pot. So big blind ante has changed the game a lot. Starting stacks have completely changed the game. You know, when I was playing, the WSOP main event starting stack was 10K. Now it's like 60, 50 or 60, you know. It's so, you know, people used to, when I was playing, it was a lot more pre-flop, you know. Pre-flop aggression was like everything. You know, you would see so many hands being taken down pre, whereas now everyone takes flops. You know, everyone is a lot more comfortable playing post-flop, and you can't get away with, you know, pre-flop aggression, just accumulating pots with no risk. And that's the way I like to play. You know, winning chips without risk is, you know,
to be honest, the ultimate goal. If you can actually, I mean, if you can win pots without risking anything, great.
But nowadays, you know, people tend to call a lot more. So the style of game has changed a lot, and the study has changed a lot. And, you know, obviously GTO in the last couple of years, and now it's kind of everyone learned GTO
and
now.
Solvers and AI tools now.
Exactly. So the game's constantly evolving. So yeah, I still enjoy playing when I do, but it's very rare these days.
So the answer really is no.
The answer is no. That was a long-winded no.
That's good. Peter Panayides had the ace-king last hand. He jammed it under the gun. No action. Picking up the blinds there. The blinds are 40K, 80K with an 80K big blind ante. This is hand number 80 of this stream of the final table of the Mystery Bounty Day 2. It's a $600 buy-in, creating a prize pool of $75,705, 147 entries. And these are the final 4. And all of a sudden, Troy Sweet, under the gun, finds the King 10, whacks it.
Trouble.
And Charlie's found the pocket jacks in the small blind. So, and has called. Big blind's going to get out of the way. Peter with the 9-6 offsuit. So it's pocket jacks versus the King 10. This could be the tournament life for Troy Sweet here if he can't hold with King 10 or find the cards required to be able to win this hand. So pocket jacks versus the King 10. Here comes the flop. It comes 9-3-4. Beautiful flop for Charlie at the moment. Troy needs to find a king ball on the turn as there is no hearts on the flop. 7 of hearts on the turn. No help for Troy. Needs to find a king and a king only. River card brings in the deuce of clubs. Fist pumps all round. And Charlie's going to get the job done from Troy. They've been battling all afternoon, and Charlie's going to one-up him at the end, getting the jacks to hold on that board. That is GG's in the chat for your boy, Troy Sweet.
Credit to Troy. For as long as I've been watching, I can't really see I can't remember a hand that he's played incorrectly, so it's just the nature of the game that you're going to lose some flips and you're going to be committed at this stage of the event and you run out of chips. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
Credit to Charlie as well. He's ramped up the aggression. He's got himself into some good spots to win a lot of chips. So what's he got now? 60 bigs. The rest have, 35 bigs combined.
Yeah, correct.
Big chip lead for Charlie now.
Mm.
Min cash third is now 4,200.
This one could be over quite
Yeah.
quickly.
Well, it's 12:28, Matty. You need it all to go in right now.
Yeah, for me to win my unders bet on 12:30.
Yeah.
It could. Charlie does pick up the ace-5 offsuit on the button after scooping an absolute monster. Well,
he's probably just shipping here anyway, right?
I don't know. I think he just comes in for a raise. I believe, that Patrick Russell was going to come up and do a bit of a colour up. Charlie doesn't want to be sitting there in seat 9 with 450,000 chips. So he's going to raise it up and make it 160K. And Peter's found the pocket kings. So it could potentially it could potentially here go 3 ways, but Tim does find the 3-2 off. Peter's jammed it all in with pocket kings. With pocket kings. So the action back around to Charlie, who just busted Troy Sweet in the last hand with the pocket jacks versus the king 10 of hearts, is going to make a call. So it's kings versus the ace 5. Can Charlie do another back-to-back bust out and find an ace ball? Peter all in at risk at the moment. Charlie with a massive chip stack. And here comes the flop. It comes a couple of 8s and a 5. Peter looking in good shape to get a full double through. The 4 of clubs on the turn, no help. Charlie needs to find an ace or a 5, and he doesn't. The 8 peels off on the river, and it's going to be a full house. 8's full of kings for Peter, who all of a sudden is now up to 2.2 mil.
And it's going to be a full house in the commentary box.
Yes, it is. Hold on 1 second. There you go, boss. Chuck those bad boys on. Oh, you've already got one. Right, okay. Don't worry about me. Troy Sweet has actually joined us right here in the commentary booth. I was going to hand him a headset, but he's already got one. And hopefully you can hear him. Troy, how are you? Good. Can you hear him okay or not?
No, can't hear him.
You can't hear him? Probably the wrong headset. What about that one?
I can hear. I think I can hear.
Yeah, I can hear him. Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. We're good.
Yep, perfect.
Ron. So, Troy, I just saw before you found the king 10 of hearts, walked straight into Charlie's pocket jacks. Couldn't find any hearts on the flop. Found the 7 hearts on the turn, but no draw, obviously.
Yep.
And I think the river card was like a deuce of clubs or something like that.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
pocket jacks held up and you were bust out in 4th. But I did see during one of the intermissions that you went out there and pulled out the 2.5K bounty, the 1.5K bounty, and a 500K bounty for 4.5K.
Yep, boosted my average bounty up a little bit. I was putting I put a lot of bounties, but they were small to begin with.
Yeah.
So what did you win in total for the bounty?
From the bounties, 8.75K. So yeah,
8.75K and came in 4th in
very
this
good.
event for
Yeah.
3,300. So
12K.
12K, good on you.
Very good in all ins, obviously. Pretty typical.
Yeah, I have to admit, Troy, you did play extremely well. It was it was really good to watch and commentate on, and Natan made comments about it as well.
Mm. In terms of the all ins, or
No, feels like you had really build. You didn't place chips in spots that you were dead and able to spots that your opponent was pretty weak. So it was next lost a couple of flips. You lost him. That was kind of what you broke.
Yeah.
I think it was just one of those days where when you go for a move, it kind of comes off and you look really good. But definitely some days you make the same moves and get punished for it.
Yeah.
How much of the stream block, like for example, you're gonna go home, watch?
Final tables generally watch through and do some study with my mates, and we've gone through a little bit of Jack's one from the other night. He seemed to play pretty well from what we've been up to. And then, yeah, this one's a little bit tougher because the mystery bounty adds an extra component to it. But yeah, this one's probably a lot more kind of discussing and getting opinions rather than mathematical solutions.
Good call. Just going to call the action here really quickly. So Charlie decided to limp in from the small blind, and Peter checked back his action. Heavily dominated with the Jack 8 versus the Jack 10, but he has outflopped him, Peter, on a Queen 8 board. And it's gone checked by Charlie, out of position, and Peter's decided to have a bet with Queens and 8s using that Jack kicker. Charlie's decided to float the 5 of clubs, no help to Charlie, who did pick up, I should say, a gut shot to make the straight. You can also take this hand away from Charlie with both a Jack, a 10 and a 9. So Peter's going to fire another barrel on the turn of 275k, and Charlie's going to get out of it.
So there was one hand where got Charlie to lean down high. And I feel like after that hand, he made a stand. It was like, you know, Troy?
Yeah.
He's not going to let that happen again. He just ramped up his pre-flop aggression.
Yeah, he jammed on me a couple of times.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen the stream to see what hands he was doing it with, but that was definitely a turning point in that hand, but in the opposite favour to ours. So
He's like, I'll give it to you this one time.
Yeah,
I noticed there's a big shift there.
the board came Queen 10 5 5 5, and you made that full house, and you went the double check on the flop and the turn, and then put out a almost a full pot size bet at the river, and he called you with king high. And you could tell his demeanour was like, okay, I see what you're up to, Troy. I'm gonna come and get you. And
he definitely got me.
And unfortunately for you, he did end up busting you, missing one of the commentators' voices.
I think it's you.
Yeah, you're definitely on. Go again.
Hello?
Yeah,
you hear me?
that's better. Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm back now. That was some of my best work.
There we go. Tom was commentating all the way through and nobody could hear him except for us in the commentary box. We are joined by Troy Sweet, who just got eliminated before by his nemesis, Charlie Heaton, who found the pocket jacks.
Have you played much with Charlie before?
Not really, actually. I played with him for maybe an hour at one of the early events in the series, and then I remember dealing a King's Room main event one time here that he won.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't really had much exposure to him.
What I meant by the nemesis is actually at this featured table, you guys had a couple of pretty good battles. You actually had an awesome battle earlier with Edward. You were going hammer and tong at each other for probably a good part of 45 minutes. It was great levels.
Edwin and I both don't like folding. So I think you're getting a few pots versus each other.
Well said. Charlie Heaton raised that pre-flop here with the Queen 6 of diamonds. And Tim in the big blind elected to defend with a Jack 5 of diamonds. Board has come down Jack 10 8. Tim has taken the lead away at the moment, but Charlie does have a gut shot and backdoor diamonds. And the turn card brings in the king. So now he's up and down, Charlie. But Tim's still out in front at the moment with second best pair. The kicker, don't worry about it. And 74% of the equity. So Tim's going to check and allow Charlie to go one more barrel here on the turn.
So this is a similar spot to what we were talking about last night,
Correct.
where you've got that draw in position, and you kind of have to decide whether you want to bet and open yourself up to a check raise, and obviously be pretty gross with an open ender here. You don't really have the odds to call, but it's a bit of a shame folding that much equity. I think would have liked to see Charlie check one back there and potentially bluff the river if he bricked.
I think the only difference between essentially the hand last night we were talking about and that one there was
a combo draw.
Was the combo draw? Yeah, it was like the 10-7 of hearts or whatever, and the turn card gave him a up and down plus the hearts draw on the turn.
Yeah. So generally, when you're bluffing those turns in position versus short stacks, you want to use hands with a little bit less equity.
Sure.
So maybe like an ace 5 there, where you've got a gut shot, and it's a little bit less attractive to try and realize the equity. But he got it through anyway, which is a big pickup for him.
Don't know if you've seen much of the stream at all yet, Troy, but about 2 hours ago, Charlie had pocket 9s on a board that was, I believe it was 10, 5, 6
Yeah, turn 10.
Turn 10 and the
River
river
7.
was a 7, and
Yeah.
he folded the pocket 9s,
Yeah,
and he could have been all in and just absolutely dead
yeah.
and out of the tournament, and he ended up making a big fold there after the gut shot hit for Edwin, who made the second nut straight.
Very big fold, especially versus Edwin. 'Cause
Correct.
Edwin's
Could
very
have anything.
aggressive. Yep.
Yeah.
And he probably will follow through with those bluffs. So
Yep.
you do have to pick some bluff catches. Nines is actually a pretty good one. Apart from obviously 10x because 10x is trips and you beat value. But the 9s blocking the 9-8, which was one of the obvious draws that got there, was a potential hand he could have chosen, but he found the right fold at the right time, and now he's benefiting greatly from it.
Did you see what happened the following hand? He picked up aces and got a walk.
Yeah, yeah.
Just picked up the blinds or whatever. It was a pretty cruel back-to-back hand, to be fair.
Yeah.
As Peter is pondering a call here with King Queen after facing all in action from Tim for 1.4 million with pocket 9s from the small
So in
blind.
this spot, Pete's just thinking, is he dominated, right? Is he got ace king, ace queen? Otherwise,
He can definitely have both those hands. I
Yeah.
think versus small blind jam, you probably have to call. You're going to be opening a lot of weaker hands on the button, and the fact that it's versus Tim as well, him and Tim are kind of in a battle now to outladder each other.
Yeah.
So
that would have been a great spot for him.
yeah. And he does dominate some hands as well. Tim's probably meant to jam some suited broadways. Maybe like king 9 suited as well.
Sure.
But Tim's also been the least active player.
Yeah. I was needling Tim a fair bit about it, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So Tim here picking up Troy Sweet's busting hand.
Yeah.
King 10 of hearts for a little small needle there, Troy, but you did pretty well in the bounties. So
This one's close between jam and raise. Probably raise is okay. He does go for the jam, also fine.
Charlie's picked up the ace 9 of diamonds. He's going to ask for a count. I'd imagine Charlie is going to call here.
It's still half a stack, so if you lose it, then they reverse positions.
It depends. So
It's not automatic.
it depends what you make of Tim's jamming range.
Yeah.
In theory, it's probably meant to be some hands you dominate and then hands you're flipping against. So with the bounty overlay as well, he does call. I think that's probably the right play. It's gonna be three-way.
Not anymore.
Wow. And Peter's found the ace queen
This
offset.
might be
the
all
big
over
blind.
10
this
minutes
is-
after
this
you
is
said
where-
it would be.
He's folded.
Wow.
Okay, so didn't contemplate that for
Okay.
too long.
Interesting.
So ace 9 versus the king 10.
So that's very good for Charlie because he was dominated,
Yeah.
but now he's got the best hand.
And a flop here comes deuce, 3 jack, 2 spades down. Tim still behind. Charlie out in front. The turn card brings in the 8 of hearts. Tim needs to find a king or a 10. River card brings in a repeat 8 of clubs.
That's huge miss for Pete. That's a full triple up.
Yeah,
If he makes
huge.
that call there.
Yeah, I'd assume he'd be going into heads up as chip leader if he called there.
Yeah, definitely.
Tim coming in third in this particular event, picking up 4,200 for his efforts.
In bounty tournaments as well, the payouts are usually
And
more top heavy.
Hold on 1 second. This is the outer table
The draw maha.
in the draw maha, and it looks like there's a 3-way all-in. And I believe that this is a 3-way all-in for the final table and on the money bubble too, I believe. So having a look at the stats here, it looks like there's a draw 2, draw 1, and draw 1 situation. So there's the 2 going to the player to draw first. There's the 1. The board did come down queen, queen 3. Player sitting in seat 9's got kings and 10s.
Oh, so you only draw once and then
Yeah. Player in the
showdown.
Yeah, player
I have
in
no idea how
seat
to
1
play
has aces with the queen. Turn card brings in the 7. Player in seat 4 has 6s and 4s in the hands, and the aces makes a full house on the board. So that's going to win the high hand on the board, and the best hand in your hand, the 5-card draw hand, is kings and 10s. So this will be split up between seat 1 and seat 8 there. Seat 4 not getting any part of it with 2 pairs, 6s and 4s, and not connecting with that particular board.
Do you play mixed games, Troy? Just for fun?
Yeah, definitely dabble in some Omaha variants, but I'm definitely not very good.
Did you play any of the PLO events this series so far?
Yeah.
I played chip lead.
Second in chips and
Yeah.
Omaha.
Did you not have cashy?
Yeah, min cash.
Oh,
so
there you go.
I got found out on day 2.
All right, so we have been informed by the production we are going to a small 5-minute break here, and hopefully, Troy, you might be able to stick
Yeah,
around and
I
call
can-
the
yeah,
action.
I can
For the heads
yeah,
up.
for sure.
Beauty. So we're going to go on a 5-minute break as the TD there, Patrick Russell, is going to set everything up for the heads up action in this Mystery Bounty Day 2, the concluding stages, where there is $10,000 up top. And they'll be playing for that cheese. The player to be busted out next in runners up will pick up $6,025.
Alright, gents, updated chip stacks are up on the website, but since it's two of you, Pete, you have 1.87 million and you have 5.48 million.
So welcome back here to the King's Premium Poker Room, St George Leagues Club. This is the Mystery Bounty Day 2, the conclusion. Heads-up battle between Charlie Heaton and Peter Pan, as he likes to go by. We've given him that nickname, and he kind of likes it. Peter Panayides.
How was my 1 a.m. line for the finish?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I have to admit, well played. Natan got my number. I said before 12:30, hoping, Troy, you were going to get it done, but in the end, you got done. So
here we are.
My bet has gone into the toilet. Nonetheless, we are back calling the remainder of the action. They're playing for 10K up top and a few more bounties left to collect. The runner-up in this event will pick up $6,025. There's also a trophy for this particular event, Natan, which, by the way, looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we're joined back into the commentary booth alongside myself, Josh Monk, with the guy who busted in fourth, Troy Sweet. One of the Sweet twins is going to join us in here.
Yep.
Troy, how are you, mate? You good?
I'm going great, thank you.
Good. We're talking
So you go.
Yeah, we were just talking about before you picking up about what was it, $8,700 in bounties and
Yeah, and 3.3K for placement.
you beauty.
On top of the 30 odd that your brother's already cashed.
Yeah.
So the sweet household's doing just fine.
Yeah, not short of $1. Go and hit them up if you need a loan. As we get back to the action here, dearie me, Peter Panayides raised to 200K. The blinds are now 50K, 100K with a 100K big blind ante hand number 87. He did raise with the Queen Jack on the button, first to act in heads up action, and did get called by the Nintendo 64 of Charlie Heaton in the big blind.
So tell me, Troy, how much heads up do you actually play? Because so many tournaments don't get to heads up, right? You get ICM deals, or when you get heads up, there's like, I don't know, 20 big blinds left, so you're not really playing heads up anyway. So is it something that you practice? Do you study?
Definitely not something I'm well studied in. Probably live, I've played it half a dozen or maybe.
Well, I mean, you play for a massive spot heads up. You did pretty well last year, so you can't be that bad.
That was a big gamble, but it definitely paid off.
Yeah.
I've got some basic strategy with heads up, but a lot of heads up is kind of adjusting to your opponent. I don't think many people have.
This might be a big pot here.
I think this is probably meant to be an all-in and a call.
It's just adjusting to your opponent. When you say that, you mean like on the fly?
Yeah.
Like,
so you kind of have to work out what their strategy is.
Yeah,
and
right.
How to attack that.
Sure.
And
Very
make some
strange
money.
flat call there by Pete, because there's almost no good flop for him.
Yeah. So some basic heads-up strategy is there won't be much folding, even if you get dealt like the bottom
range
few hands.
Yep.
You kind of want to compete for most pots because there's a full big blind ante in there.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you get dealt a bad hand on a button, you have the benefit of being in position post-flop.
Yeah.
There's actually a question that Natan asked myself about 3 or 4 hours ago. To call one big, how many times are you folding in the big blind? What hands are you actually folding? I said bottom 3% of hands.
It depends a lot.
Yeah, sure.
There's lots and
Player
lots of
specifics
factors.
and stuff.
Yeah. Like how aggressive they are post-flop. If
Yeah.
they're less aggressive, you're going to realize more
Yep.
equity post-flop. What position they are as well. If you can get away with calling more hands versus later positions because their hand is going to be weaker in general.
Correct.
And then your chip stack relative to theirs as well. If they've got a bigger chip stack than you want to play a little bit more cautiously because they're going to over-realize equity post-flop.
Just quietly, what a call from Peter.
Pete's taken a bizarre line in this hand, in my opinion. He's made it as difficult for himself as possible.
It's true.
By playing it so passively, because he's got to make this call on against the aggressor with that type of board.
Charlie, kind of an interesting bet here. It's a bit tough to think you're value betting king high, but your hand's also very good in a heads up scenario. So I'm interested to know if he thinks he's value betting or bluffing or kind of in between. It might actually work as a bit of both because you might get something like pocket threes to fold.
I can't imagine he's value betting.
Yeah,
I think if anything, he just probably thinks Pete's speculating with something, and
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
This
It was
is-
just a strange way that Pete's played the hand.
Yeah. I think the term's coined by Patrick Leonard, an online player, a mega master bet, where you get some hands that are better than yours to fold. So,
Yeah.
for example, pocket threes here, and
Yeah.
then you get called by some hands that you beat. So,
worse, yeah.
say Jack 10 or a flush draw.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that you always feel very good when you find a bet like that. We'll be interested to know if Charlie was thinking on that kind of line.
Well, I mean, he's got such a big chip advantage against Pete as well. He obviously knows that Pete doesn't have that many bets left in him.
Yeah. That's kind of why you want to jam the threes.
Well, that's why I
pre-flop.
thought for sure he was just going to jam him and see all 5 cards.
Yeah, the chance you actually make it to showdown with the
best hand,
are
yeah.
pretty low.
So Peter Panayides here on the button, first to act in heads up poker.
You can see this one being all in 2. It's not really a hand you want to fold. So
He's just going to raise it up and make it 200k to go, and have a look at Charlie. Whew.
This
Picks
might
up
be
the ace
over
king.
before 1.
yeah, I'd assume if Peter min-raise this one, he'll fold.
You reckon?
Yeah, it kind of isn't really good enough to raise call.
Yeah.
Because
As in he hasn't committed enough.
Yeah, because you're never going to be the best. You're never going to have the best hand.
Yeah, true.
Which is why I think open jamming might be a slightly more optimal play. He's actually found the 3-bet not all in.
So he's made the 3-bet to 450k.
Yeah,
He
so
might peel this.
Yeah, I
This
was
kind
just
of hand
thinking
might.
that. Yeah.
And getting a very good price.
It's going to cost him $250,000 to call. He does have 1.3 million or 13 bigs remaining in his stack.
I think the offsuit ace king is probably a good jam. Because if you have the suited variant, maybe you can try and induce, because if you do get flat called, you have that little bit of extra playability post flop. I assume a lot of Charlie's suited offsuit aces are meant to be all in pre flop when he's out of position.
And he does elect to make the call. So decent pot brewing here, just on $1 million. And off to the flop we go.
You kind of have to stack off with any pair.
What about this board
this
with the
might
gut
be
shot?
good enough
Yep.
for Peter to stack off.
So Charlie with nothing more than nut no pair. He's going to move it all in, and Peter has picked up the gut shot to make the straight with also a couple of cards that can help him, the jack and the 8. So he's got 10 outs, as you can see, top of your screen. But he is facing an all-in jam from Charlie, and he has elected to fold in that spot. Do you go with it there, Troy, or?
It's probably close. You've got a fair bit of equity, and it depends if you think Charlie just jams his over pairs there.
Sure.
If you think you've got live cards too, you definitely have to run it. But if you are worried about an overpair, then you only have those 4 outs to a gut shot and then the backdoor diamonds.
Good call. So back to heads-up action. So 5-1 chip lead for Charlie at the moment. 63 bigs versus
getting
10.
hands as well, heads up.
This might be a limp. Yep.
You know what? I might just sit back and let you just call the action here, Troy. Yep, on the button. Very good. So he limps in with a candy sticks pocket 7s on the button. Peter's going to check back his option in the big blind with the queen 3 off. 70-30 in terms of the equities in these hands at the moment. Here comes the flop. It comes king 9, 6, 2 spades.
Yeah. And the reason 7s is a limp here is if you go post flop, you're probably playing against 1 overcard and 1 undercard, or potentially 2 undercards. If Peter had 2 cards above your 7s, it's quite likely to get all in before the flop anyway.
Correct. Just going to call him down.
Yeah.
So what you do that with any mid pocket pair?
Yeah, probably the small pairs are jams, because the same reason we're talking about Peter's pocket 3s were jammed before. And then probably 7s might be the bottom. Yeah, the bottom for what I limp.
Charlie's made a very good call here after Peter's semi-bluffing the turn for 150. The 4 of diamonds peels off at the river. No help to Peter, who needed to find a queen or a jack there.
And then this is where heads up is adapting to your opponent. You need to work out what their threshold is for value betting. If Peter's not going to value bet a 9 here, then when he does bet, he's kind of representing a very strong hand. A king X, like a king, might be all in before the flop. So if he did bet there and you don't think he's betting a 9, then he's pretty much saying he has a 10. And then he's obviously got a lot of hands that have no pair, and you got to kind of regulate how much you're going to bluff them based on how many value bets you have as well.
Makes sense.
Charlie, the big chip lead, 10-1 chip lead. So when you get a 10-1 chip lead, you're kind of just praying it ends in the first all in.
Or at least the next 3.
Yeah. Because once they start winning one, and then the next one will hurt, and it's almost back to even. So
yep. Good call there by Troy. Have a look at that trophy on the table there, Natan. It's an absolute rip schnorrer as Peter's going to limp in on the button with the Queen 4 and Charlie Heaton.
And the water bottles.
Sorry, and the water bottles. And Charlie's just going to jam the King Queen, hopefully getting Peter to call, but he didn't. Down to 6 bigs now.
Charlie doing some card racking for heads up. Some very, very, very good hands.
What's he had? Ace, King, pocket 7s, and King Queen.
Yeah.
Can't make it up.
All in for probably 30 bigs if you heads up.
Yeah.
The stack off the
So
water.
Pete's range for shoving here is pretty wide.
Yeah. Well, he might be calling off a jam here again. It's pretty wide.
You're almost blind.
Like, this one is probably close. Yeah, I think this is fine as a jam. You're obviously hoping he folds, and
Charlie did jam his
that's the best possible situation for Charlie. Still got 2 overs.
So Charlie could get this one done, Natan, if you can find a 10 or a 4. And that could be all she wrote. Charlie Heaton, the guy who took out the guy that we have in the box, Troy Sweet, making it a little bit less sweet for him if Charlie was to win this event. And here comes the flop, I should say. Jack Deuce 7, 2 hearts, needs to find a 10 or a 4. Turn card brings in the King of Diamonds. No help, needs a 10 or a 4 at the river. The river card brings in the 5 of hearts. So the pocket 3s are going to hold for Pete. Back up to 11 bigs, now 1.1 mil.
Always feels good getting a monkey off your back, heads up.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah. No duck for Peter.
I totally agree with you. There, that's fantastic.
490.
So we got the sweet dulcet tones of Troy Sweet in the commentary booth alongside Natan, one of the owners here at the King's Premium Poker Room, taking a good couple of hours out of his day to come and join me in the commentary booth.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Bringing to you the concluding stages, I should say, of
I hope
the mystery
everything's
bounty.
out of control on the floor. I've got no idea what's happening out there. There could be some carnage.
Bringing you the concluding stages of the mystery bounty, day 2, just outside our commentary box. I believe there's a couple of people playing a bit of mahjong.
There's a serious game out there.
There's a big serious game, as you can probably hear it down the microphones. And obviously, there's 450,000 tables here, and they've chosen the one closest to the commentary booth, so we can hit them straight down the microphone for something you cannot make up. Nonetheless, we're going to call out the action as we get back to it right now. Peter Panayiotis on the button finds the 9-5 suited in diamonds. And I might throw this one over to Troy. What do you think?
Probably jam.
Yep.
You probably don't play many limps off 10 bigs because of that full big blind ante.
And he flicks in the limp. And Charlie's got the same hand. So they both got it suited. 9-5 Dolly Parton in both of their hands in different suits, obviously. They both flop a pair of 9s. It's going to go check. I'd imagine Peter's probably going to come out with a bet here. He doesn't. Looks like he checked it back to make me look like an idiot.
You.
Peter definitely has the stronger hands on this board.
Correct.
Because Peter's going to play some traps on the button. Charlie not going to trap when he's closing the action.
Correct. And that's why it made me look a little bit foolish as Peter decided to check back. And now Charlie's going to bet into him, 280K.
They can definitely both have flushes. Peter's the only one that can have a full house, so obviously if you got a flush, you're going to stack off anyway, heads up.
Mm-hmm.
Expect a call. Very easy to find bluffs with 1 heart hands for Charlie.
Raise. 500.
Is he shoving there on the turn?
Did he put a raise in there, or?
I don't think so.
Go ahead.
That
Yeah,
looked
let's
like
say raise.
It looked like a whole bunch of white chips.
If you did, it's a good raise.
Yeah.
Just playing a little catch up on the graphics here. If he has put in a raise, this is unreal. And it looks like he has too.
Looks like it's 500.
Yeah,
this,
so-
this play is actually. So you go.
It looks like he's under raised.
No, well, he hasn't reached the minimum raise, so it should
Yeah.
be 560. Hence why the dealer is asking him to put in 560. And there it is, 550
So
now.
The min raise surely looks
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah. I wouldn't fault Charlie for folding here.
Just absolutely clicks it back. Nice hand, Peter, and well played. All of a sudden, the 9-5 of Charlie is going to shrivel up quite significantly now. And he's just jammed it over the top. Unbelievable. What a hand. Wow.
He's going to fold. I think he has to fold. He's repping so much strength, and Charlie's put it in anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Such an interestingly played hand by both.
Yeah. So many levels.
Bet raise, a 3-bet jam all in on the flop. Wow.
Props to Charlie for finding it. If
Yeah.
I was facing that play from Peter, the only hand I would have been able to think about was kings.
It looked very strong, just a min raise.
Yeah.
I kind of almost want to see Peter make a call here and just laugh it off when they both show each other's hand, so to speak. Natan?
They probably both think they're drawing dead.
Yeah.
Charlie probably thinks he's drawing dead if Peter calls.
I'd love
and
to see-
Peter probably thinks he's drawing dead.
Correct.
About now.
I'd love to see Peter put it in. I think they're going to have a bit of a giggle here if he does elect to make the call, and they're going to see each other's hands being identical but in different suits. If you got it, you got it.
But I mean, in
hopefully.
Pete's spot, what's he beating, right?
Nothing.
So it's almost impossible for him to
maybe
call.
like
semi-bluff.
Pocket
queen,
pair.
yeah,
Queen
maybe
10
like
with the heart?
that's a
what you were
possibility.
thinking? Yeah.
And Jack 10 with a heart.
Yep.
Or an under pair.
Yeah, but all his pocket pairs are probably in before the flop.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was only 10 bigs effective before the hand, all 11 bigs.
So Charlie makes a great bet on the turn. Peter makes an amazing play. And Charlie said, enough of this. I'm going to just jam it back in your face for all of the chips. So some amazing levels, and does make the call. Oh, this is going to be quite funny. Hopefully we can catch their faces on the stream. They both show the exact same hand in different suits.
Craziest chop pot ever.
So
Unbelievable.
did Charlie make that all in thinking that he had the best hand, do you think?
I'm honestly not sure.
Wow, they're going to chop this one up. Aces and nines using the king kicker. Same hand for both of them, just in different suits. And pretty good result there, I'd imagine, for Peter, who tried to take that one away on the turn, then got jammed into and made a very good call, actually. Peter, despite the fact that he should have been beaten there quite often. And if not, if he had actually, it's kind of funny because if he did make that play, Charlie, with like Queen 10 with a Queen of Hearts, yeah, he's got a lot of equity and he actually would have spiked it at the river with another heart peeling off on the riv. So we're back to where we started the hand prior. So back to 62 bigs taking on 11 bigs. Charlie versus Peter heads up for the coveted trophy as Charlie just finds a jack 8. He's going to whack it.
Pretty good jam here.
And Peter's found the jack 9. So he's got him one up here by a card. As you can see, the equities are 70-30. But Peter electing to fold.
Jack 10 will call.
Cool, yeah.
Jack 9, it's close. I'm not too sure which way Jack 9 would go.
Well, I call Jack 9 because I like to squeeze up back row, and that's a natural. So I'm going to be peeling that bad boy off quite often.
Yep.
And he would almost certainly spike the 8 anyway, and I'd be busted in second for $6,025 with no bounties. So it would have been my payday if I had played that hand. That's okay.
Pete's had a couple bounties, I think.
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah, he had a couple of bounties when there were 2 tables left,
Yeah.
I think. I can't remember what he pulled.
Peter finding the Queen 3 off in the button. He's going to limp in. Charlie finding another premium hand.
Yeah.
Troy Sweet. He's picked up a few of them. Ace, King, Queen, King, Queen, Pocket
Yeah.
Sevens,
Yeah.
King, Jack now.
Yeah, this one's fist pumping all in.
Yeah. And he's going to whack it. And Pete is going to have to limp fold with the Queen
He's
3
very
off.
patient, Pete.
Yeah, he's probably getting a little bit frustrated as well because
Yeah.
he hasn't seen a lot of the hands. He probably thinks Charlie is jamming almost any 2 cards, but
He's got
we
premiums.
can see and everyone at home can see that he's had very, very good hands.
Pay jump here between second and first. It's just shy of 4K. The runner-up in this event will pick up $6,025, and the winner will be awarded 10K outside of a deal. But I'll be honest, I can't imagine Charlie making a
Another
deal. He picks
premium.
up another premium, like Natan has alluded to. Pocket nines, first to act. And imagine he's just going to whack this one in too.
Yeah, a bit. I don't mind a limp as well.
Pete's down to 6 bigs now, so
Yeah,
his calling range is pretty wide.
I think he has to go with this hand, actually.
I'd say so.
yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if he does go with it. This amount of picture and a small card suited.
The defending's very short.
Don't quite
I think
like
the
this.
stacks are slightly wrong. Like he had like a bit over 400k behind.
Yeah, good point. Good pickup too. So Peter's going to check nothing more than queen high on this board of 8-3 deuce, 2 diamonds. Charlie's going to bet 100k, which is the min. And Peter's going to have to fold.
So obviously the table itself only picks up the RFID cards. The chips are not RFID. That's actually done by Maddie, who's tracking it. And there's no technology in the world that will actually pick up chips according to an RFID scanner in the same way that cards are scanned. So yeah, we have to then recount stacks every break, put them in correctly.
And I assume when the blinds change and stuff, there's like a little bit of discrepancy, maybe a hand or two apart. And
yeah, it's generally just tracking. So over the course of 2 hours in between blind raises, or half an hour in between blind raises, tracking will put the chip stacks out. So
Peter down to 2.9 bigs. He's going to jam the pocket sevens here. Natan, there is actually technology for the for RFID chips in the actual chips, the poker chips themselves. However, it would cost about $1 billion because I don't know how many chips you would have, actual physical individual chips, poker chips here at.
Well, I think the difficulty as well is how the readers pick them up on the table.
Yes.
Anyway, so Pete's gone all in here. It's been insta-called by Charlie with the queen 5. So
this could be it if Charlie can find a queen ball or some additional help to go along with that 5 of diamonds. But at the moment, Peter does have the best hand and 70% equity in this quite small pot, to be fair, 680k. Peter all in at risk. Charlie's basically got this one locked up for the time being, but he still needs to win this hand to win this tournament. So off to the flop we go. And the flop comes with a 7. Straight in the window. 7, Jack 4. Charlie could.
Some turn cards.
Yeah, agreed. There's one of them. Does pick up a gut shot to make the straight. Needs a 6-board, a 6-board at the river. The 9 of clubs not going to get it done, and Peter is going to hang on.
So the problem with Pete is that he's winning hands, but he's getting dwindled down every time. So he's kind of just back to where he started.
Correct.
He almost just needs to make a stance of, okay, I'm just going with it now because otherwise I'm never going to get any chips.
And I think that's exactly what Troy was talking about earlier, about sort of changing up your play a little bit and sort of working on the fly, and feeling out your opponent, understanding what he's doing, seeing if you can do it back and all of that.
The thing with heads up as well is you can kind of throw caution to the wind. On a final table, you kind of got to play for pay jumps, and there's a lot of ICM considerations around who's next to bust, but heads up, it's just you versus them, and you need to end up with all the chips. So you can definitely play much looser heads up than say 3 or 4 or 5 handed.
You got a chip stack in the main?
Nah, I busted 2 bullets last night, but I'm unavailable tomorrow, so we'll be
max late Reggie.
Not max. I'll sit first hand day 2.
Yep.
Hopefully, don't need to dip into the rebuys.
Well, you've got a few rebuys in your pocket.
Yeah.
Charlie's going to jam the ace-7.
Yeah,
this is the spot surely Pete's got to take.
Classic confrontation heads up.
A bit of a no-brainer here with the King 10, in my opinion. I think you have to get this all in. I don't know what Troy thinks, but King 10 here is a big hand heads up.
Yeah. Charlie can definitely be shoving worse. So
correct.
Definitely take this spot.
Charlie essentially could be jamming basically with any 2.
Yeah, for sure.
So King 10's an absolute monster here. And he does what he does every single time,
he's
which is
very
put them all
patient
together and then
calculated.
moves them in as one big chess piece, it looks like.
Doesn't do anything.
The orange chips will go on top of the whites and he'll push it in as one big thing. Oh,
there you
damn, I
go.
was expecting it.
And Peter did see the 10-4 offsuit jam before, so
Yeah.
he would definitely know that he can have the best hand.
Yeah, great shout.
But at
Comments.
least he's in a position now to win, 22 bigs.
Yeah.
So Peter all in at risk here with the king 10. Can Charlie get it done with his hand? The flop comes down ace 4-4. Very likely, as Charlie is now a 94% favorite in this hand to win the tournament. Turn is a queen of diamonds, so a jack could come off for Peter to make a straight. Here comes the river, brings in the 8 of diamonds. Tapping the table, GG's in the chat. Peter comes over and gives a big handshake to Charlie, who is the winner of this mystery bounty, and taking away $10,000 for coming first. Peter will finish in second for $6,025. I've been joined in the comm booth with Natan and Troy Sweet. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you this footage tonight. They are the payouts on the screen, and we'll be back on maybe tomorrow to
let's
do the
hope we
high
do some
roller
PLO
PLO.
streaming tomorrow.
So straight from the horse's mouth there, Natan. We might be streaming the PLO high roller tomorrow. But until then, it's been a pleasure. Cheerio.
Thank you, everyone. Wow. Good on you, Patty.